Hiya, how you doing? And guess what? It's me, DJ Vibes. You wouldn't believe that, would you? But you wouldn't believe this either. I have got the opportunity and the honour and pleasure of giving a fully fledged interview, well, maybe just a formal chat with a few laughs chucked in, of the man himself, Billy Daniel Bunter. For Rave Story TV, we've got 2 hours, maybe more, depends how much we go deep into the vault of the Vibesy vault and the Bunter box. But yes, we've got Danny here. How you doing, Danny boy?
Shanus, what a role reversal.
It's the RR, it's the role reversal. Look, I've got goosebumps, look at that. Just
wow.
because for me to be interviewing you, how many interviews have you done over the years?
Oh, I've done loads and loads, and
But when did you really get interviewed like this?
Well, the last time was with Dodge Woodall on his Eventful Lives podcast, but it was more like about promoting and just like various things instead of an in-depth thing. And I've interviewed you 5-10 times.
Yes.
We've done so much
but
stuff.
Isn't it weird that I've never delved into your depths?
Yeah.
I've got lots of sort of things I don't know about you. I know there's lots of things that I do know about you that the public don't.
Yeah.
So maybe today we can really take a big insight.
Yeah.
And you can answer a few crazy questions, a few deep questions, and a few funny ones, of course.
A few funny ones with you about. It's an interesting concept, the role reversal.
The fact that you asked me to ask you this couple of hours of crazy questions,
yeah,
it's brilliant, because you wouldn't just ask me for the fun.
No.
It must be something that we have as a bond,
yeah,
which I think over the last 30 years is for sure, if not longer, but 30 years.
Absolutely, mate. It's been an incredible musical bond. We've laughed, we've cried.
Oh, for sure. Last time
we've sat round the dinner table together. We've sat in studios together.
We've drank Prosecco.
All kinds.
We've walked down the road arm in arm.
We've been to the theatre together.
Yes.
The cinema together.
We've been to concerts. And it's just, you don't think of it, do you, over the 30 years, what we've done. It's just absolutely brilliant. And now I've got the chance to do what you've done to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I took some time out. I've done a little bit of homework. I'm not going to go too deep unless you make me, unless I really want to pull some stuff out. But as you know, you're living in Welwyn Garden at present, but originally as I think a London boy.
Yeah, so originally all my family are from Tottenham and Wood Green.
That's right, yes.
And I was born in North Middlesex Hospital.
Not far from where we are now, actually Wood Green we are.
And the whole reason why I've chosen this studio as our podcast studio is because of the location. It's where all my family are from, where I had my first lot of jobs working on the markets and in Wood Green shopping precinct.
Which we'll get onto later, I'm sure, yeah.
Wood Green was the first place I ever DJ'd at house parties or pubs. And yeah, my family are Wood Green and Tottenham. I was born in Tottenham. And it's
still a few of them left in this vicinity, or did they move out like yourself?
Everyone pretty much moved out. Like if you look, East Londoners move out to Kent, and North Londoners move out to Hertfordshire,
Cambridge, and all that. Yeah, definitely.
And that's kind of like. What happened with my family?
Are you glad you made that move now? Would you like to still be here? It's great to come back into for the vibrantness. We've just walked down the road. Absolutely brilliant. All the food, all the music going around.
Yeah.
I think for our age now.
Yeah. No, I'm happy. I'm happy where we are, and but I always come back with such fond memories, because there is such both youthful family history, but also there's incredible rave and music history around here.
We're only 40 minutes on the train. If they're 35, but yeah, you come here and you feel the energy, don't you? You surely do.
Yeah.
You surely do. So you started DJing around this area, you said?
Yeah, so
But hold on, I need to ask you first thing, which I don't even know this. And right now you're Billy Daniel Bunter, Billy Bunter.
Yeah.
Were you, because when I wasn't first DJ Vibes, I was Navigator, then I went to Serve Vibes, now I'm Vibes. Did you have a pseudonym? Did you start, or did you straight as Billy Bunter? And when you got that name, how? I know it's simply question, but how old are you, and when, and maybe why?
Right, so there was never ever a DJ name before that. There was never any aspirations to have a DJ name.
You said you played in some pubs first, maybe youth clubs, stuff like that,
pubs,
was it?
Clubs.
And who were you?
Right,
Tonight we have got who?
I was just Daniel, the fat kid with glasses and loads of records. Yeah. That was me. So right.
So how old are you at this stage, just so I get a little idea?
Right, so my first house stroke witness of acid parties was when I was like 13, 14. The first pub I ever played at was upstairs in the Lordship pub.
We're going back 30.
We're going 88, 89. We're going 88, 89. And my first sets were upstairs in the pub, Lordship pub, in Wood Green, and also various house parties for my uncle's friends around this.
So that's how you got your foot in the door from uncle's friends?
From first
you didn't
DJ.
go touting round or making phone calls?
No. But previous to that, my love for music was born out of my dad introducing me to the Electro Street Sounds albums.
So that was about the 86, 7 when they were just coming out.
Yeah, 85,
85,
86.
87,
And then to your question, how did I get my name? So I just being in this area, this particular area, Wood Green, my uncles and their friends, my dad's influence over the electro and the street sounds and the soul and funk, I randomly got a job in a record shop in East London.
Right.
So me and my dad were out one day, and it's well documented. Me and him used to go out robbing phone boxes and getting up to no good.
That later, yes, mate,
and
no problem.
And we ended up in a record shop called Paul for Music in Whitechapel.
Just to say, where exactly is that Whitechapel?
Over in Whitechapel, and we started going into this shop regularly when we was out and about, up to no good. And one day, my dad said to Dave in the record shop, "Can my son have a job?" He gave me a job.
And you was 14, 15 at this
I was
time.
14 in 89.
So that was such a great little break.
Yeah, a great little break. And how I got my name,
I don't even know this, which is strange.
which is what you asked, right? So Mervyn, Dave owned the shop, and he had Mervyn, who worked in the shop, who was a Centreforce DJ. And originally, all the records would come in from the distributors.
Yes.
And back then, there wasn't a computer system, and it was all logged into these books.
Yeah, I've seen the big books.
There were so many books, and this record shop first opened in 1957, and it had served the community of Whitechapel, Bow, Bethnal Green, Hackney from 57, right?
So there was that present day.
Yeah, up to the
no
and there
breaks.
was all of these books in there. So what used to happen was the distributors would come in with the imports or the pop 7 inches or the albums, and then on a Saturday afternoon when I'd be working, everyone, Mervyn or Dave, would go, "Book 'em, Dano," and tell me to book the record in. So I'd
from
go
Hawaii 50,
yes. So I'd go record 100 and 1,000.
Were these books in order when you got there, or were they? You weren't dragged in to sort them out from the back.
No. They was all there from decades.
And what music was sold in this shop when you went in there? It wasn't just dance music.
When I was in there, it was everything from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all the current pop records.
So it wasn't just a rave record hip hop shop.
It was everything. It was a dusty old record shop. It was absolutely everything, and. So they started saying to me, "Book 'em, Dano. Book 'em, Dano." Now, LTJ Bookham's name is Danny Bookham.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
And fast forward another few months, when I first met Labrynth and 2000 AD.
Did you meet Labyrinth through the record shop?
Through the record shop. Joe and Sue lived opposite, across the road. But anyway.
In Whitechapel?
In Whitechapel,
right, okay,
yeah.
Brilliant.
So when I got the warm-up sets at the Labyrinth, Joe and Phil, 2000 AD. Yeah. Joe Labyrinth, Phil, 2000 AD.
We're talking 89 here, roughly-ish.
Mid 90 by this point, okay. Early to mid 90. Yeah. They said to me, "What's your DJ name?" And I said, "Book 'em, Dano." I just come up with it on the spot, and they said, "No, you can't be that, because there's a fella who sends us tapes called Danny Bookham, and he's playing at Rain Dance, and his name's LTJ Bookham." Also in the record shop, people used to say, "You look like Billy Bunter. You're Bunter. You're Billy Bunter."
And unless you're an older person, you wouldn't know that.
I did not have a clue.
You wouldn't know that, because that was a 50s, 60s cartoon, wasn't it, a programme?
I did not have a clue who Billy Bunter was, but Mervyn in the shop, you say, "Come on, Bunter. Book 'em, Bunter, or Book 'em, Dano." So I said,
there was no internet for you to look. You had to get the comic or get the video. Even
no idea who Billy Bunter was. This uncool kid who got bullied at school.
What turnaround?
Right, and so I turn around to Joe and Phil and say, "Billy Bunter," and they both start laughing. And that's what they called me. But
it sounds funny, but when you think of it, it's perfect, isn't it, Billy? just the way it works.
Bunter, yeah. And the very first flyers that they put me on, Sue added the Daniel because she thought Billy Daniel Bunter.
Yeah, because it's your name, of course.
Was cooler, and yeah, that is. I could have been Book and Dano.
But it's all worked out very, very, very well.
I couldn't have asked for anything. I could not have asked for anything better. And I've got to big up Mervyn in Paul for music, who was calling me.
Well, that was
Billy
your
Bunter.
first step, as my first step was with Wish Doctor and Remo. You getting into that record shop opened not just record shop door, lots more doors for meeting Joe and Sue, which you became mega friends with, didn't you?
Yeah. So that
you were as a resident at Labyrinth. From what age were you resident at Labyrinth?
From 15, and that was I would say at the time, we always, me, Joe, Sue, DJ, like, you know, the close knit people of it knew that it was special, right. And obviously we know that ravers, all these years later, what it means to them.
But that was the peak of raving times.
That era,
89, 90, 91, when you were playing Labyrinth as a resident, and that led you to Desire and
all the other things.
That was your major stepping stone.
Major stepping stone, and it was always. I always knew it was special. As Joe still to this day knows it is, and I still to this day. But it's only now that it's sort of like historic, musical, emotional meaning has so much relevance as we've all got older.
Well, Joe, I don't mean you owe Joe, but you owe Joe your career to a point. I know you had to get up and go, but he gave you that real opportunity, no doubt.
When he walked in that record shop when I was 15, and I said, "Here, mate,"
he saw something in you. It wasn't just for the sake of doing it. He saw something in you.
Do you know what he always says?
Oh.
He always says that he just liked the music that I was playing in the shop every day that I was in. Him and Sue could hear it. And I always say, and like, gratitude is everything, Shane. And like the importance of what we've all done. Like, you're always grateful to Remo. You're always grateful to Grant, right?
And a few small promoters, of course.
And no matter what happens in life, the ups and downs of life, and people move in different directions, and times change, and music's change, and decades change, and the mood of just life changes. I've never, ever, ever, ever forgot that meeting with Joe, and then the support that Joe and Sue and Phil and Denise of 2000 AD in that early days gave me. And that's why till this very day, everyone who likes the history of rave music or follows my pages hear me celebrate my history with Labyrinth, because without it, I wouldn't have the stories, I wouldn't have the backbone, I wouldn't have the history.
Well, to get that early
knowledge.
start, because if you'd have waited a bit longer, other DJs were coming through. Yeah. You got in the right place, right time.
Yeah.
An originator.
Yeah.
So you were working in the shop at 15
when I started. Yeah.
So did that take your schooling away? When did you? What was it? Daytime job, evenings, weekends?
Well, what happened was I was thrown out of school at 13 or 14.
And that was a school in the Wood Green area?
That was a school in Potters Bar. We'd moved to Potters Bar. We'd started moving out, like we said, out to Hertfordshire.
Just slightly.
That's what North Londoners...
What's next? You're going to go further north?
Yeah, that's what North Londoners do. And I was incredibly wayward at school. My mum's
Were you misunderstood? Were you actually bad? Did you do bad things, or did you just were in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people, or was it you?
It was me, and it was a bit of both of those things. And
I was going to ask you, what your main thing at school you were good at, or was it causing trouble? It wasn't English, it wasn't maths. What was it?
I was a high achieving pupil in everything I did, maths, English, whatever I did.
So why didn't you want to do the achievements? Why did you want to go on the other side of it and cross the line and cause the trouble and get thrown out? Because it's not easy to get thrown out of a school in them days.
Right. So, and I thought about this many, many times in my life. And I thought about this because I'm a dad to 2 children, a boy who's 30, a daughter who's 27.
Have you always pushed them to achieve
be
at
the
school?
opposite to me, yeah.
Right, which they have done, as we know.
Which, as we know, they have done, yeah. And I've thought about this a lot, and I've been invited many times to universities, colleges, other podcast, music schools, and as I've grown older, I realised that I loved the noise of my uncles and my dad. I loved the world of being thrown into Phil and Joe football
Touch
hooligan.
wide, boy.
Yeah, the football hooligan people who started me. I loved all the skullduggery and all the things you shouldn't have done that my uncles and my dad liked.
Well, as you said, you went out on the 20p hunt in the phone
robbing
boxes,
phone
which
boxes.
we'll leave for the moment.
And none of those people who were my heroes, be it uncles, their friends, Joe and Phil, and most importantly my dad, none of those people did bad things to nice people. They
were in their own world.
They was in their own little world. They either had nice little scams that hurt no one, or in Phil and Joe's case, they were part of their original thing before the raves was the football hooligan thing, where they did it to each other.
A lot of the progression was to nightclubs and to raves and to having a bar that you could, work things from as such, and just this part of the whole scene of,
part of the whole thing. So when I was 13, 14, even though I was good at school, I was incredibly passionate about music. My dad had introduced me to the most amazing hypnotic music with the electro street sounds albums, soul and funk, reggae, pirate radio of the time. So I was drawn to that instantly.
He had a record player and a good sound system in the house.
Yeah, and he understood good music. And my mum was a big influence because she loved Motown, Diana Ross, and music like that. So I had a heavy influence.
Well, that's the kind of the early rave, because I was into soul, electro, and then next came was rave.
Yeah.
So the next progression for you was rave.
Yeah, I was absolutely hypnotised by black, soulful, underground music.
Well, I've seen your collection. There's some real stuff in there that no one's heard of.
Yeah.
But I've heard of in the grapevine in the background. And it was only yesterday I was going, wow, when you were showing me, I'm trying to mix and you're showing me records, and I'm getting to 10 seconds before the end of the record because I'm so hypnotised with what you're showing me.
And so with the love of the music and then the loudness of all the characters I was around so young, Skool was
you weren't going to become a classical music teacher.
Yeah, Skool just was not for me. And my best friend at school, Anthony, who's 4 years older than me, and still to this day, me and Anthony are like brothers, no matter where I am in the world, no matter where I'm at in life, like no matter what happens, Anthony is there for me like a brother. And he was, at the time, I was into hip hop, he was into house. I'm talking 85, 86.
Yes, I'm Chicago style.
Yeah. We would bunk school and we'd go to Groove Records and we'd go to Music Power. And
that's the best day in the world. If you could have them times back, the best day,
mate,
to listen to that music and just, because not everyone was like that. You were the not the odd ones out. You were the ones into that, like I was.
Yeah.
I'd want to get away from school and hear that music. And with the records you were buying though, eventually from the record shop you were working in?
No, I discovered it was always Groove Records and Music Power in like 85, 86, 87, 88. Weren't until 89 that I discovered.
Did you actually manage to buy any though? Because obviously you had to have money and you weren't.
Oh, mate, I was obsessed. Like I had Saturday jobs with my uncles.
Okay.
When I was the other things.
So you did have a readily available tenner here and there.
Yeah. Because people always said, "How did you amass so many records so young?" But me and my uncle Logan, we'd go out and I say this with a smile on my face. And like I say, it was never nasty skullduggery. You look back on it and it's funny. And we'd go round the back of Tesco's in Haringey and like you get £2 for a blue pallet, and we'd be out robbing pallets. Like
just every little helps.
Like yeah.
So you wouldn't think anything of spending the 20 quid you don't on the Saturday on records.
Oh, it'd all go on records.
And you'd run home in that bag and the smell, and you'd get them on. Oh, that feeling. I've had that feeling,
mate,
but you really had that feeling.
I love
even
records.
Even now you've got that feeling.
Even now to this day.
You buy records now that you don't actually play out, don't you? You buy records for you.
For me, yeah.
And you have them in the plastic, in the order, in the alphabet, in the racks for you.
1,000,000%. So my mate, my friend Anthony, we were both little gits at school.
Do you see Anthony now?
I speak to him every day of my life. He's like, every day of my life.
Does he still live in the area of Potter's Bar?
He lives in Potter's Bar. Yep. He is like, he's always there. He's always there. You
can ring him anytime and he's free. That's brilliant news.
Friends
nice
from school.
Nice to hear
And
that.
we both got thrown out of school, and we were both heavily into our music. and what I've learned as I've got older, giving chats to colleges and unis and music schools, is in our life then, because we were naughty, because we had other passions, no one knew how to harness these young men. And it happens everywhere. It happened to many of us. No one knew how to harness our passions. The road to any form of success, the road to any doing what you love doing, it isn't necessarily in knowing English. It isn't in knowing geography.
Oh, no.
It isn't in knowing religious education. And not that I ever stopped my children from being academically wise and learning all of that, but our school and many schools just did not understand that me and my friend were creatives.
Well, I'll say that being creative has got a lot to do with being a DJ and especially a promoter.
Yeah.
So you started promoting once you'd started DJing, sort of around.
Yeah.
How old were you done your first promotion? What was the first promotion, and what gave you the energy to do that? What made you think, I want to promote? Because you are a successful promoter now, which we'll get into later. But what was your first promotion? Where was it? And how did it go? And what style was it?
Well, promoting was never ever part of the story. Promoting was never ever part of the vision.
It wasn't a plan, it just happened as such.
Like none of the stuff that I've ever done was part of the plan. I didn't have a DJ name, right?
But a lot of them follow on from one thing you do and it follows on to the next.
It's all organic, it's all a vibe, and promoting come a good 5 years down the line, like producing did, like record labels did. Because the thing with me is like, a lot of people say you need to be a producer to become a DJ, and you need to.
It can help,
and it become a rule, and it did become something. But what served me well was a 5-year residency at one of the greatest rave clubs that there ever was.
People talk about it now constantly. Yeah. You put anything up about Labyrinth, the amount of hits and people at memory lane, nostalgia. It's just constant.
So I was this sort of. I'm like this exception to the rule that, like, my the golden era of old school, I had no tunes in it until like 95. But how promoting come about, I always vowed never ever to promote, because I realised the stress that everyone went through. I realised how, even at a young age, how easy it was that let's say Joe and Phil were going through all kinds of dramas, whether it was from gangs trying to rob clubs, or in 88, 89, gangsters trying to take over.
You're open for it. You've got that place. You're not moving. You're there.
All of that stuff. And by like 95, 96, when I was travelling all up and down all over the country, and I wasn't just a London-based
Oh, I see. You're a sanctuary
DJ.
a good few times.
Yeah. Like, I always vowed never, ever to promote, because the amount of promoters, whether it's financial troubles, gangster troubles, drug dealer troubles, or just the troubles people would face. And when I had, we're going forward quite fast here, but when I did GBT Records with Rob, we ended up doing all these label tours, and in fact, the very first person to ever book me out of London, after I'd had almost a reign of terror with Labyrinth in London for 5 years. Were
you there weekly for how long?
Every Friday and Saturday for 5 years.
That's just unheard of.
In which thousands and
how many nights is that there if you work it out?
I've worked. You think me and Joe have worked it out? In my time at Labyrinth, every Friday and Saturday for 5 years is 100 times a year, which is 500 times.
And what club goes Friday, Saturday being busy?
And then
with the same resident.
Yeah. And then it was, and then obviously there was 5 to 8 all-nighters, whether they was at Tasco's, Rollers, Bagley's.
There was a few, yeah.
So
always London-based, as you said, yeah.
Always London-based. I had no vision of. I didn't care about other DJs. I didn't care.
It must be
about
such an adventure
promoters.
for you to come up past Northampton. That's the junction
I got a nosebleed. I got a nosebleed.
I count junction 14, 15 as where you cross to the kind of Northampton.
Yeah. So
oh wow.
The first person ever to book me out of London was Paul Grant, Hyperbolic, and
that's right. This
is gonna feed into you saying, how did I get into promoting? Right.
Yes.
So So when I first met you,
This was at
93,
Labyrinth, roughly.
yeah,
Well, that was one of our
when
first
I
major
met
meetings.
You had business cards. You were making records.
I'm giving the records at the events.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were very like entrepreneurial savvy for
I had
that
tapes
moment.
going out
Time.
around the country to
Tape,
Manchester. I even sent tapes to Germany.
the lot. You were
Yeah.
one of the first person I met with a modern day mobile phone, a business card, the lot. And it was just alien to me because it was just like
Yeah.
I was just stuck in my world, and I didn't care about anyone else.
Because
right?
you were flying. You were happy
In
with your
my-
lot. You were
yeah.
happy with your lot.
And I was younger than you all, and I had this world.
You'd already
found-
made it to a point. I was trying to. No, you'd made it in your scene, in your London.
If I could, if
You didn't even have a car, really, to
no,
even get
I didn't
to
even
these
have a car.
places.
If I could, right, and I worked this out when Eamon passed 2 or 3 weeks ago from Liquid, which he also worked in the record shop with me, but I said, and I worked it out in my head, before I'd left Labyrinth, before he'd made Sweet Harmony, we was already living the dream. We were already living the moment in the greatest moment.
Friday
of-
and Saturday,
Yeah.
getting a couple of quid. You were well happy with, and I'm not going to wonder how much it was. You could go and buy more records.
More
you could buy,
records,
which I'm going to say about something in a
MC
minute.
and DJing, but back to the promoting question.
Yes, we haven't
right?
got to that
no,
yet. No.
It's great. I love it, right? So Paul Grant Hyperbolic. So on tune with like having business cards, phones, everything, right? I didn't even have a mobile phone at this point, and I'd made my first tune for
How
Just
old were
Another
you then?
Label.
You were only
17, 18.
I was going to say, so you wouldn't expect to have a car, phone, all this stuff.
So I made a tune with randomly again, totally unplanned. So I made a tune with Optical for Just Another Label. I'm going to just fire through this really quick.
people
on
wanna
your
hear it, I'm sure. I wanna
question
hear it.
of my first promotion.
I want to hear it, and I want to know where, when, and
So
what.
I have this. I made a tune. I randomly meet Ola at stage one at a pie and mash in East Ham, in which he notices me eating pie and mash with Sonya.
He noticed you from Labyrinth.
From
where?
Labyrinth, yeah, he
Whoa,
noticed me,
wow.
right? So he walks past. He walks
never knew
past the
this.
pie and
I
mash.
didn't know this.
Yeah, he walks past the pie and mash, starts banging on the window. It's you, and I'm thinking, I mean, who have I upset now? And I was with Sonya in the pie and mash. She hadn't had our son yet, right? So he comes in and it's you. Everyone comes Labyrinth.
But good, not what you thought
It was
bad.
good. I thought, shit, like what
Choked on
drug
your
dealer
pie.
do I owe money to? It? Yeah. So he gets me in the studio. We do this tune, Let It Lift You, me, Optical and JDS. My first ever tune is with the legendary Optical on Just Another Label with my
Big
mates.
label.
Yeah, big label.
Not just some old backstreeter.
I've not got a mobile. I'm still I'm going to tell you something else. This will blow
Go
your
on, I'm
brain.
listening, mate. I'm listening.
So when Ola released that record in about it was December, it come out December 1994. We'd made it roughly summer of 1994. Sonya had an ectopic pregnancy in which our son was born under her ribs.
Okay.
So she had no signs of being pregnant or anything. And we were still going out. And one night she got taken into labour and had Jack. But we never knew she was pregnant.
Oh, right.
She was having no signs.
So she was at Labyrinth raving it up, or wherever it may be.
So at the same time that this record comes out, and I'm getting on to Paul
And you'd
Grant
met
Hyperbolic.
Sonya at Labyrinth.
At Labyrinth, we met at Bagley's.
Get into that in a second,
From
if you
Bagley's,
don't
right?
mind.
So this record comes out in December. I have no mobile phone. Mine and Sonia's son is born in December.
It's all happening at once.
All of the so I've got this Labyrinth residency. I've got this Labyrinth residency. This record goes out on Just Another Label that one night got played like 5 or 6 at World Dance, and it's getting played everywhere. Paul Grant phones up Just Another Label and says, I really want to book this Billy Daniel Bunter
He's
guy.
seen you on Labyrinth. Now he's seen your record.
Now he's playing the record out, right?
Because he was a DJ. Paul Grant was a DJ 30 years ago.
Yeah, this is a really long way in getting to my first ever promotion.
Yeah, no,
but
there's always... You
got,
can't just turn up there. You have to tell us the steps.
Yeah, so it's got steps. So Paul Grant was the first ever person to book me. And Ola says to Paul Grant, Bunter hasn't got a mobile number. Right?
Could I not even get hold of you?
No one could. Right? He hasn't
How
got.
did Joe get hold of you?
Well, Joe, from the record shop, and he always had my mum's number. So I'd always lived at home with my mum and dad up to Jack being born and me and
But
Sonya
you weren't going to
getting
go
flat.
giving that number out to the world, were you, at the time?
So all of a sudden, promoters and Paul Grant being the first, ringing up Ola, and Ola's giving them my mum's number.
Which is fair enough for a
big
big thing.
So the phone goes, and I've always said this, is country bumpkin. Paul, he's talking to me, and I'm thinking, who's this on the phone? And he's going, it's Paul Grant. I run out with Bollock. We want to book you. So that is my first London gig, and my first ever promotion.
But that's 3 hours out of London, mate.
Yeah,
that's not...
my first ever
How
event.
did you get there? Just while I've got you on that one.
My dad took me.
Is it in the Silver Merc?
Oh no, this was way before.
Oh, was it really?
I
Right, okay, we'll come to that a bit later.
Like
I just was thinking of that.
And I built up a great rapport and a great friendship with Paul. And I always name check Paul for being the first person to book
I've
me
seen you
out of London.
Every other one of his events you're on.
And I love Paul, and I will never
me
forget
too.
him.
You're not the only one, mate.
Booking me, and when I set up my GBT label, my first ever event that I put on in 95 or 96 was with Paul. We partnered up, and I didn't have a clue about promoting.
Where was this?
At the Speedway. So we did a GBT meets Hyperbolic.
And this was your first...
My very, very first outing into promoting. And I'm going to say this to you now. I did not like promoting and to the world.
Don't forget that, mate. It's not just me.
Promoting. And 29 years later, I am, as well as being a DJ of 35 years, a producer of 30 years, I'm also a promoter at Unbroken for 29 years. So we've fast forwarded there. But yeah, that was my first promotion.
And was it a good one? Well, you couldn't have asked for doing it with anyone better who had the experience.
Do you know what? It was good, and I've seen the flyer many times, and I think it was like Slipmat, Psy, Sharky, Seduction, me.
So,
I might be wrong.
Did that give you the bug, or did that put you off a bit? What was your next move? Because to come today full circle to doing holidays abroad in other countries, how does anyone start to do that? Doing the Rave Story, a brand new concept, which is amazing. These sort of things, you're always looking for a new angle, a new idea by the looks of it. And this is why I was saying 15 minutes ago that you saying that at Skool, you had lots of accolades for being able to do the work, but you didn't because you went across the line a bit, you crossed the tracks. But you can't be a promoter unless you've got some serious knowledge upstairs, because you need to have your hand in, you've been on the ball completely, your hand in all of it. You can't just turn up, you have to do all the money sides, all the logistics. So it's a tough road as a promoter. It's not just renting a club and going in there. There's a lot more to it now, especially since it's hard these days.
I have a number of things to my bow, right? And what they are, what they are, whether it's DJing, whether it's producing, whether it's radio, whether it's promoting, whether it's a book publisher, whether it's all the things that I've done, and many of those things you've been a part of. I think one of the only things you haven't been part of is us releasing a book from you, which I'm sure will happen. But what I have is energy. I have boundless energy and boundless vision.
Well, I don't know how you use enough hours in the day, mate, because you've got 6 things you've said there, and they're all happening right now.
And they all happen, and I have boundless...
All at once, not once now and again. They happen all the way. All the
time. And it's a boundless energy and vision of, 1, to keep doing this and loving music, 2, to take as many people with me as possible. And you do get casualties along the way. You could line up 50 people and not know that 1 or 2 of them are going to turn on you or become backstabbers or ungrateful. That's life.
You've seen them, I know.
But it's never ever stopped me from still working and helping everyone. And then there is another factor to this, Sonya. So we met in 1993.
93.
Yeah, we met in 1993.
And this was a Labyrinth event. Where was this?
Yeah, so how me and her met was she'd been going to Labyrinth, and Bagley's plays a huge part in this story. So she'd been going to Labyrinth very young. Like when she was like 14, 15, like I started.
3 or 4 years younger than you. She's a couple of 3 years younger.
3 years younger than me, Sozo. And I started seeing this girl and I was going to my mate, I'm in love. And my mate, like literally I'm going, I'm in love. And my mate's going, shut up, you silly sod. Da, 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 da. I'm going, no.
Is this going on for weeks or is this just one night?
Weeks, but from the first time I see her, right?
But you're hanging around, you going dropping the D.
I was hanging around, all right? And I was going to her, what's your name? She's going, F off, right?
You weren't mentioning the DJ yourself. She knew who you were. She knew you were.
Yeah. Because how I first see her, she was on exactly.
You weren't playing the card a bit more. There was a record bag on the shoulder and all that.
If you remember the DJ box at Labyrinth, we could only see the people on the stage and the speaker, and you had to look over.
The first few people, that's your look.
Yeah, and that's where the first place I ever met Keith Flint, Prodigy, a few years previous, was he was on the same speaker in front of me, go on, Bunter. And that was the first time I see Sonya. She was on the speaker because you had people who used to...
couldn't care less about Keith, could you? More interested in Sonya.
Oh, come on, yeah. So
forget Prodigy.
So I kept trying to get Sonya's name and her attention, and all it was F off, you're a DJ, I don't... Yeah, you're Flash, I'll see you in here
You didn't give up, did you, by the sounds of it?
Right, so then she used to go over mate, and one night I said to her, mate, what's your mate's name? She went, Sonya. Big shout out to Sonya. Oh. And that on the mic, I started grinding her down.
That's one thing we didn't say. You was on the mic as well as on the decks for all those years.
Oh, I was, yeah.
You were your own introductions. You didn't really have MCs, did you? You introduced yourself and gave the shouts.
Yeah,
that was one thing.
That was something. That
was a new concept.
Well, no, it was Adrian Age and Vinyl Matt with the residents at Labyrinth before me. Because Labyrinth had been going a year and a half before they took me on. But I took my musical and hosting inspiration from Adrian Age and Vinyl Matt, and I always name check them. And Adrian was a brilliant host. Matt
did you go to Labyrinth a few times before you played there?
At Silver City in Wood Green,
right.
Wood Green again. So with Sonya.
Well, that's where I met Remo at Green Lanes.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute from here.
This place has got a lot of heritage. So, 1993. So, this was when I first laid eyes on Sonya, first found her name. And to give...
That was like your foot on the ladder, wasn't it? Your little open of the door, the name, getting the name.
Mate had told me, that was it. And,
did she forgive her, mate?
I'm not sure. But to give context on the size of Labyrinth, and this is just a snapshot of 1993. So a minimum of 1,000 to 1,500 people would go to the club every week.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Labyrinth was the first hardcore rave to do Bagley's. And in the year of 1993, and I'm just going to put something into context for you here, right?
Go.
And this is why I always say the world of I've got the utmost respect for the Fantasias, the world dances, the Helter Skelters, everyone.
Of course,
I live and breathe the history, but to put in context how I was so tunnel vision onto what me and Joe and everyone was doing creatively. So bearing in mind 1,000 to 1,500 people every Friday and Saturday night.
A club
every week of my life.
Does that blow your mind even now?
To think about it.
Yeah.
Then when Bagley's come along, bearing in mind every year when I was with them, Labyrinth would do, and 2000 AD and Desire would do big one-offs. When Bagley's come around, Labyrinth were the first people to put hardcore events into Labyrinth. Previous to that had been house, like US house events, all kinds of things. Labyrinth went there and were going like 3,000-4,000 people instantly. On top of the weekly club for many years. December 1993, because the flyers are there. Find me a promoter who throughout the whole of December did a weekly club Friday and Saturday, then did Christmas Day and Boxing Day at Bagley's. So
it's an unheard of, but it's successful as well. Not just anyone can put something on, but doing it right.
Yeah, so Bagley's
Christmas Day though.
Yeah, Christmas Day.
Would you even risk that?
Oh, we love Christmas. Not now, not now.
No, that's what I mean.
Never in a million years.
You wouldn't risk doing that any time.
But how Bagley's come into play into mine and Sonia's relationship was Sonya had lost her purse at a Labyrinth Bagley's event, right? And then in Rave Scene magazine, there was a little they had like this little lost and found thing in the back. Do you remember Rave Story magazine?
Yeah.
Gwen and Josh,
you had a
I used to do reviews.
Yeah, you put me number one, and I couldn't believe it.
I reviewed your record. I was the first one
and
to get Sing It Loud, and I made it my number one record of 1993.
You didn't tell me you were reviewing it. I got the magazine and read it. Look, Goosebumps again. I read that magazine. You didn't even say, Shane, I've reviewed your record. I've put it number one.
I didn't have a phone.
I went,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The old purple on thing sign on it. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
That was a great little thing, that was. It was really personal.
And Labyrinth put in the Lost and Found bit. I'm paraphrasing a bit, Lost and Found, but in this thing saying purse found, blah blah blah, and it was Sonya's purse, and Sonya's cousin. They worked in. I tell you where they worked, and this is why history and areas and everything. They worked in an office which was by Telepathy, Marshgate Lane.
Oh, no,
so there's so many these
little
things,
areas.
Yeah, there's all these little areas
giving you little touches here as well.
That revolve around our life and the rave scene at the time. So
Marshgate Lane.
Yeah, Marshgate Lane. So Sonia's cousin go, I think this is your purse.
What are the odds?
So Sonya goes up to Labyrinth to collect her pass, and Joe gives her loads of free passes, like literally a lifetime of free passes. So that was it then. I'd already clocked her.
Did Joe know that you was interested this time?
No.
So he just done it as a gesture and sealed her fate?
Yeah.
Where would she be now?
I've been grinding her down ever since. So
and that was the last touch.
And that was it. But Labyrinth, Bagley's.
She was in your clutches then.
Marshgate Lane, all these historic like rave things revolved around. She was
only 17 or whatever.
17 and 19, yeah.
Oh, and they're still there.
Well, 16 and 18 when we met, and we had Jack.
33 years ago, and you're still strong as.
Yeah, and we had Jack when we was 17 and 19. But in a nutshell.
It was fate. It's by the sounds
everything
of it.
was fate, and both of us, whether it was me as a DJ, whether it was me as a DJ, whether it was her as a. You've worked with her many times.
She's straight down the line.
Incredibly clever, practical,
when does
genius
she sleep?
mind.
When does she sleep?
Oh, she sleeps very well. But
she gets done what she needs to get done. And it's not easy. We know that.
So we learn. Everything was learned the hard way from like not having a clue how to.
How do you know how to do a Unity in the Sun without doing it?
Yeah, how do you know any of this?
That's a tough one.
I went into Labyrinth and spent 5 years not being able to mix to 20 odd years later being signed to Ministry of Sound with one of the biggest mix selling albums ever in rave music.
You've done your apprenticeship, mate. There's no doubt. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, me and Sonya left Labyrinth not having a clue about the VAT man, tax man, legalities of like solicitors and Sonya.
You don't think of that putting an event on. You have to have that.
You don't think of all that, and then you fast forward 25 years, and Sonya's acted in legal cases and saved us hundreds of thousands of pounds with a legal mind, all through what she's learned
from taking the time to get the knowledge, not just jumping in 2 feet first.
Yeah.
You think you're going to walk out of a club with a bag of cash? No.
She has an incredibly big brain and an insatiable appetite to learn legalities, like the ins and outs of business.
You have to, because as you said, if she didn't, you'd have lost bundles.
Yeah, and then mate. We in the early days we lost a fortune in promoting, but also you combine her knowledge, her wisdom of work, her. Like how she deals with you all, how she gets everything done, and then combine that with my tunnel vision of come on Shane, we're doing this. Come on Kenny, we're doing this. Everyone, come on Nikki. Look at all the books we've released. Well, they
wouldn't get off their bums if they didn't. I wouldn't really half the time, unless you said to me on Saturday, "Can we do this on Monday?" Not this, do the yesterday on Monday. Of course, because if I said then you wouldn't ask me again.
Yeah,
you have to get. You've got to get up and go. So why can't I? And why can't other people?
It's not just been hundreds.
You thrive on it.
Yeah, it's been thousands of people.
You don't sit down and stagnate.
No, it's been thousands and thousands of people we've worked with in the same way we work with you, but obviously we have a number of people like you, whether that's Nicky, whether that's Kenny. There's a whole load of people who we work very Frost, who we've worked with on very personal legacy projects. But you can combine Sonya's work ethic and you can combine my energy ethic and the way I use it. You get a killer team.
There is no doubt. Without her, you surely wouldn't be on the same energy flying level, because you couldn't do it all without her. The most cliche going is every great man has a brilliant woman, or the other way around.
Yeah, and behind every great man is you like a day off, and
she'll sit and do all the accounts and stuff, and then without her you couldn't do it. You'd need to hire somebody else. How could you hire someone so close and so emotional to you?
Shane, listen to me, right?
You've been through times good and bad.
Oh mate, we've had some horrendous times. We've had the VAT man at the door, the tax man on the door. We've had like other promoters with the threats. Sonya's been held up at knife point in Brixton, being taken over our doors.
And
but
you could have easily pulled the pin and given up then.
We never do.
No.
We always come back for the love of the music. But like, I'll give you examples, right? Just last week alone. For the most part, Sonya deals with my diary, but you know what it's like. That so you could be on the go, you could be doing something, all of a sudden, Dan, can you do this date? Yeah, no problems. And you get in, you forget to put it in. Dan, can you...
It's horrible, isn't it?
Listen,
it's horrible. It's not the end of the world, but it's horrible.
She was furious with me on Saturday just gone.
Didn't you do 3 overlaps?
On paper, you would think Dan's gone, he's done Ministry of Sound with Groove Rider and Brocky and Frost and Ray and everyone, Charlotte Devaney and Grant Epidemic organised it. I'm like one of the headlining DJs with main slot at House and Classics. Then I've got me, John Doe and Hicks here in Taunton. None of them come through Sonya. They all come through me. I didn't put a single one of them in the diary, right? And all of a sudden, I'm seeing flyers go out for the same day, and I'm thinking, why are people telling me they're seeing me at House and Classics this week? It's not till 3 weeks' time, right?
But you had agreed and just forgot to write them.
I've said to Grant and Charlotte, yeah, I'll do 5:30, 6:30 to you, and then I'm seeing artwork with me on 5:30, 6:30. Now to the real world, bloody hell, this geezer's well organised. And I had to sort of like quickly turn it around, get all my time sorted.
But you did it.
I did it, but when it's left to me, disasters happen. Just point me in the direction of the gig.
Because you're too willing, aren't you?
Yeah,
I'll have that.
Yeah, come on,
get me in there. I'll have a bit of that. Taunton, don't worry about it. Taunton's only down the road.
Yeah. That's how my brain thinks. But yeah, Sonya is. I wouldn't be here without Sonya. I wouldn't be able to do so much without Sonya.
No, you surely wouldn't have. You wouldn't be at the high point you are.
No.
Because everyone needs someone.
Yeah, we wouldn't have had all the moments that we've had without her.
Going back to your just before the DJ, and just briefly, because we've got plenty more to come. Your love of clothes and BMXing.
Right.
Did the clothes come from your dad? I'm sure there must have been something from Joe or your dad with the feeler, with the casual stuff.
My dad and my uncles and their mates, Farrah trousers, Pierre Cardin.
So they were the link.
Yeah, Pierre Cardin shoes, Lacoste tops.
And we're talking mid-80s here.
Gabechi tops.
That's one of your favourites.
The feeler stuff. All of that is like.
So that's the stem.
Oh yeah,
you was into that early days.
Yeah, just in awe of my uncles and their
colours,
friends.
The style.
Yeah, in awe of my dad's.
And those were the wild boys that had that, and that's what you were aspiring to be.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that. And
I love the feeler hat and picture that we had on that flyer of our sister you done.
Yeah,
now that is the epitome of you.
Yeah, and you know what, Shane? Like, and I guess really it's like Labyrinth in a lot of ways. Like, we don't always appreciate at the time or even till much further down the line of like certain pictures that we have and certain flyers or certain moments. So I've got a picture of me on a BMX bike that my mum took.
Well, how old are you? You look around 11 or 12. It's 11, I'd say.
Yeah, maybe
no
11,
older than
10,
that.
11, yeah. And
you got that cheeky look, and you over the shoulder.
Yeah. And I kind of, I look back on a lot of things. Like originally, I used to look back on Labyrinth in a bit of embarrassment, not of the event, but of I couldn't mix, and there was certain way, like I wasn't the best at mixing, but I had the tunes, right?
I'm just going to come up to something, so save that for a moment.
And then I also look at like pictures of me as a young kid, and I think, oh, I was really geeky, and I was really uncool.
I was the uncoolest geek in the... I'd try to trump you, no problem.
Yeah, so there's been points where I've been like, why... not now, because I understand it more in an emotional and an age context, right? But over the years, I thought, I don't look that cool in that picture on that BMX, or that's, And then as time's gone on, like the picture of the BMX, for argument's sake, all of the sudden, BMX books want to publish it, and big BMX like pages want to collab and share this picture, and it's like you, as a 50-year-old, I now look and think, actually, it's cool.
Who was cool at 10?
Yeah.
And that bike was, it was silver, as far as I remember. It was a great bike.
Yeah.
To have that now, you'd love it now.
Yeah, oh, come on. And there's other things of like pictures at Labyrinth where I've got these massive glasses on, and magazines and blogs, and really cool people have used these pictures.
People would love to be standing where you were, looking like you did. It is cool. Yeah. It's just... You were there. That's cool. Yeah, don't forget what you look like. Being there was cool.
One of the uncoolest looking people was there, and
people. You had 1,000 people dancing to you. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, And the mixing came. It didn't take long, I bet, did it?
5 years.
There's one thing. I've seen a picture of you recently-ish with some decks. They didn't look like Technics to me.
Right. So
where were they? What were they? And why? How did you get them?
Right. So
and that was it wasn't what you'd call a super $5,000 system you were playing on. No, that was in the house. Was that in your house?
That was it. That was in the bedroom at my mum's house in
First decks, obviously.
1989, and they were two Philips decks and a Gemini mixer, and I had no idea of pitch.
Did they have pitch?
No.
I
had no idea of pitch.
Where did you find or get these, or were they donated?
Right, so no. I found a shop that was selling these old, like not old, but they were cheap Philips.
They were the same.
Deck,
sorry, they were the same.
£30 each or something.
Yeah.
And I just wanted two of them to plug into a Gemini mixer, and they weren't weighted, and they weren't made for DJing.
These were my first for Elite FM. They were from Tandy's.
And they had no pitch, no nothing, no stop-start. But I just wanted to be...
we had a stop-start.
Yeah, I just wanted to have...
It was a switch, though. It wasn't a button.
Yeah. I just wanted to have decks by a mixer, and I understood a Gemini mixer because
was it the one when you'd bring the arm in, then it'd start?
Yes, one of them. Yes, you brought the arm in, and it would start.
Wow!
And in hindsight, these two decks at £30 each, 60 were an absolute waste of money because they served no purpose.
Get a sound, but it wouldn't give you.
You couldn't mix. You couldn't scratch because it was so floppy.
Had a rubber mat on it.
Yeah, but what it did do. It gave me a vision of what's standing there to do a DJ. And
with the crossfader, one to the other.
Yes, and I used to pretend that I was a radio DJ. So I love Jazzy M on LWR.
That's a good start of everything.
Yeah,
It's got to start somewhere.
I loved Mike Allen on Capital. I love Roger Johnson, R.I.P. and
Mike
Dave
Allen
Pearce.
was my show as well.
Yeah.
Friday nights, as far as I remember.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday night. I loved Dave Pearce and Roger Johnson on a Monday night. There was just so many DJs that I wanted to...
You were getting a foothold from at home.
Yeah.
You didn't have to, but then you got out there. But listening to them shows obviously put something in here and something in here.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something.
Like, and everyone else, remember. It's not off the record.
And everyone else.
Turn off for a minute. This is secret.
And I think that I've only ever said this to Dave Pearce, right? Mm-hmm. So in 1988, my first ever taste of going to a radio station.
You were born in 75. Right, so you were 13 at this time, 13, 14.
So Dave Pearce had a Monday night show on Night FM, Fresh Start to the Week. which Roger Johnson, both Roger Johnson and Dave Pearce I've become great friends with. And
what station was this so everyone knows?
Radio London.
Perfect,
Radio
yeah.
London. Sadly, we lost Roger Johnson. And he lived up the road to me, Roger Johnson, and his son worked for my brother as well. More kind of like connections from people.
Definitely.
But
So, it is all close knit. When you find out, and you used to write all this on paper, the lines that go between, they all come back to each other.
It's fascinating, yeah. So Dave and Roger had fresh start to the week on a Monday on Night FM, which was a Radio London night station. I was addicted to Roger and Dave.
You had the tape being record and play,
Stop, start.
DJ Cheese and all this sort of stuff going on.
Cheese, Cash Money, all of that stuff. And then on a Friday night, Roger Johnson did a mix show, which was more housey. We would be playing the more house on a Friday night. But it got to a point where during the week, Dave Pearce also had a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday show. And every week on one of the shows, they'd invite listeners up and you'd phone in and they'd invite listeners to go and review records. Like, so every week they'd have this.
So the studio
listeners
on the phone.
Yeah. So I got my cousin I was 13 years. Can I come and review records, please?
I'll bring me decks.
And Ellie rung up the station. She was a bit old. She's 5 or 6 years older than me. And I wonder if my cousin Ellie even remembers this. But she got us to be the record reviewers on Dave Pearce.
Did you both go?
Ellie come with me and one of my friends from school come with me, right? So we go.
Did they know before you went how old you were?
When we got there, they knew.
No, then they got there. When we got there,
and Dave Pearce was there, and it's mad, right? It's mad. I was 13 years of age, and we're there reviewing records. I didn't have a clue. I didn't have rhythm. I'm 13.
But you knew what you liked.
Yeah.
And you knew what you played and couldn't wait to hear.
Yeah, and we went up to Radio London on Dave Pearce, and it was all...
the train down or what?
Got the train, and it was all like house, acid house. And that was my first experience of a studio. That was like a year before being in Paul for music, and that was 2 years.
You've done that meant that you were a big fan, you were a big music man.
Yeah.
Because I'd never thought of doing that or heard about that.
Yeah.
That proves that you were on the road somewhere.
So fast forward, that was 88. Then in late 90s, early 2000, Dave Pearce... Well, actually, no, let me give you how life works, how dreams and how, like, if you're passionate about something, you end up working and becoming friends with heroes who you thought could never happen. So in 86, I was mesmerised by Roger Johnson and Dave Pearce. 88, as a fan, as just a young fan, I managed to get on one night to review records on Dave Pearce.
Did you ever get a tape of it or anything?
I would love to know if there's a tape out there. You know, hindsight then at 13.
Hindsight for photographs and tapes.
Yeah, it was just not there.
No.
1990, Hype used to come around, DJ Hype used to come around Paul for Music where we worked with the white labels. And we built up a rapport, and we talk about it on the podcast with Kevin Hype. And one night he was playing at, got his first gig at Berwick Manor, which is where Roger Johnson...
Well, we flipped, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we used to promote Berwick Manor, and they were there.
Yeah.
They'd do the Saturdays, we'd do the Fridays.
That's right, yeah. So I go up on Kevin Hype's guest list to Berwick Manor, and actually when I did the record reviews on Dave Pearce, Roger Johnson wasn't there, and the first time I met Roger was 1990.
So you were still only 16 here?
Oh no, 19. When I went to Berwick Manor, I was like 14, 15 when me and Anthony used to go Berwick Manor. Anthony had just
went before 1990.
Yeah, Anthony had just learnt how to drive.
Did
and
your
actually,
mum and dad
we had an accident come one night. Actually, sorry, like the memories here. this was early 1990. We went Berwick Manor, and then we went from Berwick Manor and drove to, because Anthony had just learned how to drive, and we then drove to Labyrinth,
But
Silver
you should
City,
have been
and
in
Wood Green.
school the next day, not
yeah,
going to Berwick Manor, mate.
And then
in the
on
middle
to-
of nowhere, with a load of real, as a crazy rave house. That was.
and then so we went Berwick Manor, which is where I leant over the decks going, Roger Johnson.
Do you remember you
I
from that
listened to-
studio night? Or was this before the studio?
Roger wasn't in the he wasn't in the Dave Pearce studio,
right,
but
okay.
when I leant over the decks, can you remember the decks at Berwick Manor?
'cause there was a bit of rolling.
Roger, I can't believe Roger Johnson. He would never have remembered me from when
Did you
I
ever have problems getting in these clubs as a 14, 15-year-old? Because you had the passes.
Yeah, never.
Because you always had the guests.
Either on a guest list from the record shop or just got in. But me and Anthony went Berwick Manor to hear hype, met Roger Johnson as like a fan, like Roger Johnson. Then we went Silver City Wood Green, which is Silver City Wood Green is the first place I ever heard Kenny Ken and the first time I ever watched Kenny Ken play. And then on our way home from Berwick Manor, then to Silver City, we had an accident. We actually had a little crash.
Just a little bump, nothing too bad.
Yeah. Anthony fell asleep at the wheel.
Did your mum hear about this? She can't have been happy.
Oh,
you
my
going out.
My mum knows all.
Yeah, but at
this.
the time, I mean,
Yeah.
for you to be going out in cars, crashing, going not one club, two clubs.
Yeah, my mum knows all this stuff. Yeah.
If
And
she'd have found out you'd had a crash that night and then went on to another club from there, she would have been a bit. Ooh.
Yeah, and then
but she knew what you were like, and you weren't causing too much trouble.
And then after meeting Roger 1990, which he would never remember, nor should he. I was just a person going, "You're amazing, Roger Johnson. I've listened to you for 3 years on
Yeah,
Night
he couldn't
FM."
see through the radio, could he?
Yeah. It's just, loud music, and we get it all the time, people shaking our hands, don't we?
Oh, of course.
A year later, Roger Johnson become a resident with me and Vinyl Matt and Adrian Age and Easy Mo at Labyrinth, and I was just in awe of like,
What a full circle.
like I'm 16 years of age, and like I play before Roger. Roger plays after me. I get on the mic for Roger, and I'm like,
It's only a couple of years previous to that.
yeah, it's Roger, like Roger Johnson, like, and it showed me how music works, and and in hindsight, like 16 years, when I was 12, 13,
Shaking his
glued
hand
to Roger,
in
and
the
then
radio station.
and then late night. I'm fast forwarding even further now. Late 90s, early 2000s, when I had my label Honeypot Recordings. Me and John Doe had UK Art. I'm going really fast here. I'm going.
Oh, you've jumped 10
I'm going
years,
forward a
haven't you?
decade
15
here.
years, yeah.
But Dave was working for BMG, and he had a really big dance music label, and Dave loved John Doe. As you know, I was best man at John Doe's wedding. We do a lot of stuff
Oh,
together.
he always talks about you highly, obviously.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
And I was a massive supporter and advocate of John Doe and his sound. And Dave Pearce fell in love with what John was doing. A record that we released, I think it was 1999. Judge Jules put it in it was called Energy, this track, and Judge Jules made it his top 10 trance records of all time in Mixmag, right? But I started working with Dave. I started working with Dave. Like, Dave would ring me and say, "Dan, like, who have you got around you on Honeypot? Who's popping? Like, can John Doe do this remix? Do you think John would like to do this?" And it's funny how full circle things go, and interesting.
But you booked him. I've seen him play in
recent years.
Cavos, many times, and it's
Yeah,
just amazing to see him there. You're booking him.
Yeah, so interesting enough with Dave Pearce and Judge Jules. Dave Pearce was in the mid to late 80s an absolute hero. Then in the early 90s, on his label Reaching Records, they released some incredible rave records. But then the trajectory changed, like he did trance and dance. And Judge Jules was never part of my trajectory, even in he was always on a house side, then Radio 1, then trance, the trance and the dance. And then just on Friday night, this is how music and life works, from being like a 12, 13-year-old in awe
You
of
could
Dave.
never have envisaged it in your whole life, never.
And then like throughout the sort of late 90s, early 2000s trance scene, I was never part of that, and it was never part of my vision. Hard trance, hard dance, underground stuff, And then on Friday night, I often see Dave Pearce out, and I've been on a lot of lineups with Dave this summer already. We might not see each other, but we might be on, he will be the trance DJ, I'll be the 90s rave. But talking of Judge Jules and Dave Pearce, I was on a lineup with them on Friday night, a 90s anthems thing, and it's funny how life moves.
You've moved nicely to that side as well as your rave stuff and old school, the housey sort of ish, but you always play the nice
authentic
ravey
to
side
me,
of house.
the authentic stuff. But it's mad how 1 minute I'm 12 years of age.
Next thing you're booking these DJs.
The next minute I'm
playing next to these DJs in the same level.
But with totally different musics.
In the same lineup, not warming up. You're next to them.
And like do you know what the thing is, Shane? Right, not to divert from your questions.
No, not at all. No, you have to. You can never answer one of my questions in one sentence. I like the follow-ons. That's the whole point. We won't be here for 2 hours otherwise.
Yeah, the maddest thing at the moment is we're in a magical time, right? So me and you did a mix and a radio show yesterday, and people are making music paying homage to your unique style, right? So we're in a really magical, emotional time, right? So at the moment, what's happening, and this is the first time I've ever shared this thought publicly, because it's only been inspiring me in recent weeks, if anything, since the passing of Eamon, right? So what is happening is whatever our genre is from 88 to 93, them golden years, right? And there was many genres and many offshoots, and I represent a lot of different sounds, styles, tempos from those eras, right?
Definitely, yeah.
I live and breathe that era and what it created. We are in the most emotional time we've ever seen, with people partying in front of us. And this is how this goes. There's a load of 50 to 60-year-olds who were with us then in their teens. People's teen
92
memories.
to 98.
88 to 93.
Yeah.
People's teenage memories are the best of their life, right? So we represent, especially someone like me who's 2 radio shows a week, every day sharing music. Every weekend just gone, I've played to 5,000-6,000 people in different places.
1,000,000%.
We are 24/7 round the clock, living and breathing, giving people a good time based on memories from the past. If we play new music, it sounds like old music.
Yeah.
When we play old music, we're playing the real authentic. We won't play remixes of old tunes. It is.
You're actually enjoying this, aren't you? You're not doing it just because you have to, or because you're getting a couple of quid, or you're going around the country, around the world. You're doing it because you enjoy it. You wouldn't be doing those radio shows Monday 12 till 2, Wednesday 12 to what the time on the Wednesday. That's a lot of effort, mate. To do one a week is a lot.
I've been graced and gifted that people want to listen to me.
I see the shouts yesterday, non-stop.
Yeah,
non-stop.
So I can never not love doing
this. And you
this.
didn't do 4 events this weekend just because you like travelling on the motorway. It takes it out of you.
I love seeing people happy, right? So what I'm getting is, and what I'm seeing, and my inspirations and the vision that I see is 50 to 6-year-old people who are reliving their teens through us. I'm then seeing them bring out their, Billy, meet my daughter, she's 21 today. Meet my son, he's 25. Billy, me and my son and daughter have both been coming out. So we've got a lot of emotion there, right? We are also in a time where, if you go back to the late 80s, early 90s, and everyone says, it was a really tough time in the UK in them times, and that's why raves had so much energy and emotion. The outside world, me and you are privileged people. We do something we love, and people tell us they love us for doing it. right? And it's the ultimate trade-off.
When you
right?
stand back and think about that,
it's the ultimate trade-off.
Going back to your first Labyrinth days,
Yeah.
to have what you that now.
Yeah.
There's people still to love you.
Yeah.
And still, I didn't think that these, as you said, the 40, 50-year-olds, you wouldn't see them out again.
Yeah.
But there's been a resurgence in them coming out. These festivals you do and bringing, as you said, their family.
So they come out.
What a privilege.
Unbelievable. So they come out with their family.
You're playing for 2 generations, not just
two
one.
generations. And we are in one of the worst times that people have seen in our lifetime, economical crisis.
There's a lot of problems in the world, in the
sheer
country.
amount of political disarray from whatever end of the spectrum you like, so much discontentment, so much anger, and it's understandable.
How has the rave scene still survived 35 years on?
Right,
There's got to be a reason. So
we are here with people's emotions, and if escapism was powerful in the late 80s and early 90s because of the climate, it's even more powerful now, adding in people's emotions. And I'm going to tell you something, Shane.
Hey, mate, yeah.
And I said this to Sonya. I'm going to actually throw 2 other things in the mix of why I think it is the best time I've ever seen as a DJ and the most emotional, right? Emotions, real emotions and inspiration is more powerful than any ecstasy tablets. I had some of the best times of my life on ecstasy tablets. I wrote a book called The Love Dove Generation, right? But now there's the emotion that people are feeling at the age that they're at and being out with their kids. As you know,
you have a big responsibility right now.
As you know,
you can't waste that, and you can't let people down.
No,
you have to be there to give them what they
giving
want.
People what they want, and as
on the Monday,
know,
on the Wednesday, on the Friday, on the Saturday.
Yeah, I don't drink anymore. Right, so imagine I don't drink, I don't take drugs. 8 years, right, of not doing anything. So
You're taking a lot under your wing, mate. A lot under your belt.
So my energy and my passion and love for this thing is even more. And also a lot of people out there, whether it's promoters like Danny and Andy at Clockwork Orange who no longer touch stuff, whether it's a lot of ravers who come out and say, "Damn, we don't drink anymore, we don't take drugs." That's why the all-dayers
are sometimes good.
Yeah, so there's such a powerful emotion out there. And the one other thing that is happening that makes these sets even more emotional and even more emotive is because of the nature of the music I play a lot of music from people and friends of ours, whether that's close friends that we would call brothers or peers that inspired us, who we worked with many times on stages, whether it was producers who we may have even met once but have played their music forever. We're now losing a lot of people.
Well, it's a natural thing of life. It's the circle of life, mate.
It's the circle of life, and also we know a lot of people, and we are in this music's very emotional, music's very
Well, it can shock you, make you stand back and think, God, this could happen to anybody
It can
anytime.
It can happen to anyone.
You really have to make the most of and treat how you want to be treated. Be nice to people, try and make people happy. Don't just think you're some special DJ or some special producer, some special promoter. Have time for the people. It doesn't matter if you're a big time promoter or producer, even the ravers are on the same level because we're all there at that event together.
100%.
If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be there, and if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be.
100%.
So
and
we are 50-50.
We're messengers of this music, and we're messengers of positivity and good vibes, because this thing was good to me and you and a number of our friends.
Proved this weekend, the fellow who emailed me to give you a shout today, which I did.
Yeah.
And that was just one person saying how much you made his day for that one outdoor set. And he was in the crowd. You don't know him, but he we mentioned you this morning to me.
Yeah.
So you've stuck with him for all them days.
Yeah, exactly. And so now in my sets, at the time of this podcast, it was 3-4 weeks ago that Eamon Downs, a brother to me, well, that
hit you hard, and it still does.
It hit me hard. We worked in the record shop in 89, 90 together before he had Liquid Sweet Harmony, before I rose to the main slot at Labyrinth.
That's the track I was talking about this morning that you played from that man who told me. Remember?
Yeah.
So that is amazing. That's
amazing.
Not even a coincidence, just amazing.
This is how close me and him were. When his daughter was born, my daughter gave his daughter teddies and, you know, all the girly stuff that she'd had. And when you have the output that I have, Sunday podcast, Monday Music Mondays, Wednesday Centreforce, Friday and Saturday sometimes. Well,
there's many thousands of thousands.
Yeah. And then
all different kinds of people.
All different kinds of people. Then throw in my social media, which is I get 10 million views a month on my social media, sharing what I love.
Is that a number that just blows your mind?
It completely blows my mind, right? So when I go out, at the moment, my emotions are high because Eamon's gone, but this record's still here. And I'm wherever I go in the country, I'm opening with Sweet Harmony and celebrating Eamon, and I want people to celebrate this what this man means to me, and what this record means.
You want them to be feeling your emotion, because you can sit indoors thinking about it. Yeah. But why not share it and give everybody some joy and celebrate his life with that?
Celebrate what he did, and I can tell people, take them to their favourite, their time of 89, 90, 91, before this man's record was made. And I'm here now. And
you're a messenger.
And then all of a sudden, bam, let's show our love for this tune. And then it explodes. But then further up in the set, and it really struck me at a younger event about 4 months ago called Ramona in Manchester. And it was like this place was packed on a Wednesday night with people younger than my kids. And it was kind of, they fit in, and the videos got to go up on YouTube, and they filmed, it was a 3-hour set. I went from 88 right through to like music, so what, the 160 music, so wonderful, slamming vinyl stuff, and starting from acid and house. And there's just all of these youngsters behind me, because they do that a lot now. You have people behind you and in front of you, right? And I'm playing, and you know, I've got on the mic for my entire career. Yep. It's always been a thing. And all of a sudden, it hadn't dawned on me. At Moondance and various other raves, I'd been playing Rebel MC and Tenor tribal bass, and I've got this mix that comes out with Lenny D-Ice, WIE.
Right.
Obviously, Lenny D-Ice has passed away.
Yep. And
Tenor has passed away. I've been in the past 6 months.
But we are talking recent, all these things you're saying.
So I've been playing tribal bass and WIE. I've got this mix, and I jack up the mix every time because the energy from people is like, it's too much. Like, people love this mix, and it's just an instant reload. Every MC wants it reloaded. I can fit when it comes in. You know it's coming anyway, don't you? And then another bit of Tenor Fly's vocal comes in, and it just captures the rave, right? And I was at Ramona, and I hosted the whole set myself, and I've wheeled up the mix, and it suddenly hit me. It's Lenny D-Ice and Tenor Fly. Not that it hadn't before, but in the sense of like, I've just been naturally mixing these two records, and I just told the young crowd,
people of the scene,
and I just started saying like what this means. 10 tunes up, when I'd sped it up, I'm then on to Top Buzz, Living in Darkness. And I've always played the vocal mix, Pat's vocal version, which has always blown Pat away. And Pat even says,
You're the only one.
I'm the only one. And Pat always says, me and Jason used to say, why does Bunter play that mix?
Right? I haven't played it.
No. And I remember like in the days.
Well, that's your signature then, that you do that.
It's a signature. And in the days of message boards, people would go, we don't understand why Bunter plays the vocal mix. Well, I do. And here we are all these years later. It's iconic. But I jacked up that, and then I was like saying to these youngsters, like in front of me and behind me, and we've lost this person as well. Yeah. And all of the sudden...
Well, that's 4 straight away that you're going to play, and you're not playing it just because of that. You're playing because they're great tunes. They're great people.
I played them when they first come out. I played them, Eamon Liquid played me Sweet Harmony down the phone when him and Shane made it, and I was the first person to get it.
You could say that possibly is one of the biggest old school
early
'90s ever.
You
You could say it could be top 3 or even number 1.
One of the biggest.
Yeah.
Rebel MC used to come up with his white labels to 4 Aces and leave them for us, right?
Wow.
John Real to Real. That Lenny Dice, WIE come in.
That's the late 80s biggest tune.
Yeah. Late 80s, early 90s. John used to come up to Labyrinth, raving. I remember John giving me WIE. Jason and Pat, like, if it wasn't for Jason, I wouldn't have given up. He was the catalyst for me giving up booze, Jason, because actually Wood Green again. We was at a comedy night. Me, Sonya, Jason, and his wife, right? Mm-hmm. And we was at a comedy night about 9 years ago.
9 years ago it would be, obviously.
Yeah. And Jason, nicely in his endearing, magical way, introduced me to someone. It was when me and you have both drunk a lot together,
we had some days around your house, even on the radio.
Oh dear! And
Honey JD comes to mind. I ain't had that since.
And Jason introduced me to a mate. He went, "This is Bunter," and he tapped on this bottle of wine. And Jay went, "He likes the sauce, old Dan." But the way in which he did it was like a concerned friend, but like,
yeah, it got inside you.
And I was like, oh.
You took that statement home with you, didn't you?
Yeah. So I'm playing music. So we have all of this emotion and energy from 50-year-olds, their kids. We are so reachable to them now on the internet and on the radio. And then you throw in, we've lost people who made this music. And then you throw in the fact that I am so grateful that many people listen to me during the week, Monday to Friday.
Monday between 12 and 2. What people have got other things to do, haven't they?
Do you know
but they
what,
don't.
Shane?
They don't. I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, I've not even thought about it in this context. It's not even Monday and Friday till I go and DJ. With the podcast now on a Sunday to Friday, with YouTube, radio shows, and my want and my passion to share music to people every day on the internet, that is something that I want to do. That is something that I want to give to people. And you're doing quality
raves at the weekend, but you're also doing your own raves and holidays for other people. Of course, you're not doing it to be a millionaire. You're doing Unity. How many hours work does that take? Right, how many days, weeks, months?
Yes.
So that's just, you do it as a passion. There's no doubt. You couldn't. Even if you've done half what you did, it's a passion. But
Shane,
to do 2 radio shows, Monday, Wednesday, in the middle of the day, is a big commitment. And you've done it for how many years? Did you tell me?
15 years, 15. Mondays.
That is, I don't see many people would last that. Well, this is what I was going to ask you as well. Once you did stop that drinking, which was you didn't say I will and then did it again. You had a bit of a time off. You just went cut, and then the fitness took over, and you started bike riding. You started gymming it 6 a.m. So did they all come hand in hand? Did you just say one day did you start on one day, or did the stop drinking lead to the fitness? The fitness led to the bike riding, which led to the charity. What was that? Because that's another string to the bow.
Right.
Because the fitness led to the bike riding, which led to the charity. So it led to the mountain climbing, all the stuff that went with that, all the safe space. You took on another thing that must have been even harder, because more time out of your week.
So whatever I do is all or nothing.
Yes. We said that half hour ago. Yeah.
So whatever I do is all on. If you're going to do something, you do it properly.
Yeah, you get so many people saying, I'm going to do this, then you never hear about it again.
If I say I'm going to release someone's book, I'm going to release it. If I say I'm going to do a charity, I'll do it. If I say I love you, I love you. If I say I don't want nothing to do with you, I don't want nothing to do with you. If I say I'm going to lose weight, I'll lose weight.
Are you a ruthless person? Is promoting ruthless? Do you have to be?
Oh, mate.
Do you have to be honest with yourself as well as other people?
Promoting's the most ruthless.
Do you have to be very...
Right, so let's talk.
Can you have to tread on eggshells, or do you have to go straight in?
Let's talk about the losing weight and not drinking, and then I'll get on to one.
Well, determination. These are all determination.
Yeah, then I'm going to get on to one of the biggest legal cases in rave and drum and bass that I've never told.
If you think it's good for the air, if you think it's good for the podcast,
I've never told, and I'm going to tell this.
If you want to, of course. I wasn't going to touch on it, but
and I'm going to tell this story.
Airing,
but I'm going to tell it in a way that it is a lesson for anyone who listens to it and anyone who wants to show an interest or is going through things, right? So the weight thing, the losing. At my height of my drinking, I was spending up to 400 quid a week on booze. I'd ballooned to 22 stone.
That much was it, right?
Like,
okay.
you look at pictures. Sometimes I look at pictures and I think, wow. The lowest I got down to was 14 stone.
Big drop.
At the moment, I can fluctuate between 15 and 16 stone, but I still go
nowhere near 22.
No, it's nowhere near. And I can go to the gym. And I still go to the gym 4 times a week. But I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you're not going to lie on here,
I
are you?
love my food.
You don't tell lies.
You know I love my food.
Like me too,
You
mate.
know
yeah.
what?
Do you go through phases and stages?
When I first lost all my weight, I was absolute.
That came hand in hand with the drinking. You stop
all
stop
at
drinking.
the same time.
All
All
had
or
to be
nothing.
coming.
Stop. All,
And then fitness as well. Get it all going together.
Get it all going.
Not half measures, as you said. All or nothing.
All or nothing. Let's do it. And I stuck to it, and I haven't drunk alcohol for 8 years.
Just to go like that?
Yeah, and I still go to the gym 4 times a week. My eating isn't as good as it was in those first 3-4 years of doing it, because I do like my cake and I do like my carbs. But
the fact you've come so far, you're allowed a treat, but you're saying you're doing it too often, the odd treat.
Like you think yesterday when we went for a bit of lunch.
You only had a chicken baguette and you wanted a cake. And it's because I said it was a pound more to eat in, you didn't want it.
No, it wasn't. That was you. No, but I didn't, because I'd eaten bad on the road all weekend.
You said you had a pizza, yeah.
And then
but didn't I say on the road's the worst place to go? Because you're stopping at services. You're sitting there, you're bored, you're chomping on crisps. You don't even want to eat them. You're not even hungry. You're just eating stuff to occupy your hands and your gob.
That's correct, yeah.
Sorry to put it that way, that's the fact.
It is, and then...
And I found the more you eat in a week, the more you'll carry on wanting to eat. It is an addictive thing. You just eat for the taste, and you won't want to eat cauliflower. You don't want to eat a big load of cauliflower. You want to eat a load of savoury pizza or kebab, or just, once a week, twice a week.
Sugar and carbohydrates are my enemy in the same way that alcohol was.
Sugar, not me. Carb, yes.
Sugar and carbohydrates. But when I'd lost all that weight, then we went into COVID.
Was that the timing, right?
Yeah, my nephew took his life. Very, very young man, same age as my son. You could never have seen it coming.
Really, was it that much of a shock?
You could never have seen it coming. Everyone loved him. All of his mates loved him. He was like the apple of everyone's eye. And he took his life, and it was during COVID. And during COVID, I was doing a radio show every morning called Bunter's Carry On, because I wasn't, and it feeds back to what I was saying earlier about how grateful I am and what a good life this music's given us.
Every morning's a big one as well.
And so every morning I was getting up and doing this radio show, 7 to 9, Monday to Friday, and I just felt... And I'm sorry if this offends the people who thought they'd had music like, I'm talking about artists. There was artists who had been walking into clubs, getting paid a lot of money for their entire careers, releasing records, getting paid good money. And all of a sudden they have a few months where it wasn't going so good. And all of a sudden, like they were just throwing out negativity on the internet to people, to audiences who had supported them forever. And like, we've got music. We can still make music. We can still entertain people with music. We can still share. We're in the internet age where we can go on.
You gave something back, didn't you?
Yeah, yes. We've been given enough. If you're me and
just because there's a bad downturn, don't just drop it. Yeah.
Me and you we've spoke about this so many times. we've lived, and not every DJ's like that. Not every person's like that. Like, not everyone's been gifted this music life every weekend. But I was seeing people who had done very, very well out of music. Like, it's over, our music's over. Well, I ain't fucking over. We come from an age where in 88, 89 and 90, they said we wouldn't last.
Oh,
we come from an age where we was playing music illegally at pirate radio, where our friends...
Well, there's people that were at that stage still raving now. So that's it's still going. So the dues you've done this weekend, busy? There you go.
Rammed, everywhere rammed.
There you have it. Rave scene is dead, is it?
In that period, I was not going to sit on the internet and go, poor me, music's over. Like, why me? Because the whole world was in disarray.
If you've got nothing good to say nothing.
Yeah, the whole world during COVID...
Oh, it wasn't just music scene.
Was in
there was
disarray.
People dying. People dying, mate.
What did I have? Forget politics. Forget whether you should have had or shouldn't have had the jab. Forget whether you had money in your pocket or didn't have money in your pocket. Forget whatever it was you felt was wrong or right. I had music.
Well, you had 2 decks.
I had 2 decks.
And there's a camera.
I had the internet.
Yeah.
I had Cool FM. When Phil had it, Eastman, East would get up every morning, put me on that radio.
Get up at 6:45,
and
6.
I would play, and that show built up thousands of people, right? And it was...
They could rely on it.
It was a release for me. It was a release for people. And no one's telling me that I can't play my music. Yes, I couldn't get into... Incidentally, we did that. Sorry. We did actually take people to Unity.
Now that's the next level.
So not only was I playing my music every day to people... And I don't care if this offends people who were sulking on artists, not people, but artists who were like, it was the end of the world. And then, right, not only did I passionately play, and you can see my head.
I can. I can see in your face. I see in your face.
About giving people music. So not only did we do that every day, there was some openings with Unity in the Sun, which is our holiday in Corfu.
How did you pull that off?
Sonya, where we could take people abroad and give them a good time as well.
Isn't that the most amazing thing you could have done for anybody?
Yeah. So what did we love about the rave scene in 88, 89, 90? No one said that we would be over. No. You know, the struggle will continue.
You said the energy, the pure passion. Yeah.
No one will stop this. So at the same time, I could not let the music stop. At the same time, I could not stop playing people music. More than ever.
Think of those 200 or 300 people that went to uni. How brilliant did you make their time? Yeah.
So more than ever, all those people who brought a CD pack, a record, a mix CD, a book, paid to hear me in a club, all of those people, more than ever.
Getting paid back.
Yeah, that was my time to go, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, for all 30 years of support. I'm sorry to the other DJs who were angry and...
But why were they? I wasn't.
Yeah.
I bet they're not now. They've just forgot about all that.
Now that they're back, they've forgotten all of those things. We're all right, thank you very much. But anyway,
I didn't mean it. I didn't say it. It wasn't me.
But
I was down. In
that same time that all that was going on, my nephew took his life, right? So I'm a natural promoter. I'm gathering you all and we're having a party. Or I'm gathering you all and we're all going to Corfu during COVID.
I couldn't believe it myself. So I knew it was sort of happening, but the ravers couldn't believe it. It was a scam.
Yeah. So my nephew took his life and we did Unity holidays during COVID in Corfu, but I wasn't, I'd been promoting a lot. I'd been part of a lot of events and backing a lot of events.
Did we ever mention how many roughly? We can't, can we? Promotion-wise.
What, over in Corfu?
No, in your life. It's definitely coming up to 100. Me and
Sonya have never worked out the amount of events we've done, but leading up to COVID, we were doing the Rave Story.
We've done all the tasties.
All the tasties.
So
we've backed a lot of...
You've been undercover, you've been silent.
We've backed a lot of funded and directed and pushed some of the greatest promoters of all time, and that's down to them to tell the story, because me and Sonya always stay in the back with those things.
That's
because we do that for the love of our mates and our friends.
You always helped, yeah.
Because we can. But when my nephew took his life, I thought, well, I've got this radio show. I've got all of these tools at hand of gathering people. I know how to promote. I know how to articulate any project that I want to get going. I know how to. So all of a sudden I started just talking on the radio about, I want to do something about mental health. I want to do something during COVID that is like, will help people. And all of a sudden...
Which is a thought that turned into something real.
That turned into a charity that's now 5 years old, which has gone... Running a charity's hard, Shane. Running a mental...
To try and get
charity,
people to hand over money is hard.
It's not, do you know what? It's not even that. Like the charity gathered loads of like mental health professionals, accountants, business people who were just like, loved the radio, loved the message, and they helped, right?
But it's the organising as well that goes with that.
Then it was all of the organising. Now, the initial phases of raising money was pretty easy. I don't mean that in a bad way,
but they were good things. Riding bikes, doing
the initial
stuff, nice
initial
stuff.
wave of
People
the money.
Get involved with it.
Yeah, the initial wave of injection. I put in myself. Like during COVID, we sold loads of my book, and I pretty much. All of the money I made out of my book put into the charity to fund computers and ideas and everything with the team. And we taught, we put 30 odd people through mental health first aid training. And again...
Those little things like that are amazing.
Yeah.
To put people through training and they'll go on to do that forever.
Yeah.
So that first little seed has just grown.
And then kind of like running a charity is really thankless because like... People think that you're doing it for money. You're not. Like here's how my charity worked.
You weren't taking a wage and all that stuff.
Legally, I can't, nor would I. Like I'm a trustee, so trustees cannot take money.
So that's another thing on your list of having to do.
So I'm a trustee, and then when I do things like. The bike ride in which I rode across 4 countries, or the Three Peaks Mountain Challenge, I do them as just like a charity fundraiser. That's my title within that.
Gets you out, keeps you fit, and earns some money.
Yeah, and helps fund the charity. And basically the goal of the charity was to have this phone service in which a team of people would answer the calls in the evenings to people. And when we got to that point, when we were, we went through loads of when we went through the charity commissions. I said to them, I've written a book about taking ecstasy. I've done this, I've done that. There's stories out there about me and my dad robbing phone boxes. And I would.
Was it more work than you thought it would be?
I
think, as you said, thankless is a word. You can't switch off from that.
It's a thankless amount of work, but when you get messages saying, you saved my life, the team saved my life, job done.
Well, you've done that on a smaller level through music and through rave DJing and through the radio. Yeah. But this is the next level.
Absolutely, job done.
When you actually hit on somebody, one person in particular. But you've done a crowd of a rave, and people listen to the radio. You keep them through the day. In COVID, you did. Yeah. But to actually get someone to say your charity, speaking to
anonymous
somebody,
emails. Yeah.
That's when you see somebody's name. Yeah, that's the one.
It's been very hard to keep people on helping and working because everyone does it.
Voluntarily.
They're all voluntarily doing it, and we've been through many phases and we've been through many ups and downs with it. And we're working on new things that we're about to do. We're about to like set up workshops, and we're about to do like online meetups for people and stuff like that, and it's one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, but it's something that I've done that is
rewarding, fulfilling.
All of the tools that I'd acquired and put in my toolbox through being a promoter, a DJ, a radio host, and author, all of the different things that I've done.
Being a people person.
Yeah, it all enabled me to be able to do a charity. to be able to set it up. And to set up a charity during COVID when no one could meet charity commissions and sit in boards and was very hard. And it's now over 5 years down the line, and 5 years is a long time to run anything. And
when you've got 5 other things running as well.
Yeah, and like it was a very proud moment just getting the charity number. It was a very even prouder moment when people phone and you help save their lives.
That's the one. That's the pinnacle of it.
That's the pinnacle.
High point.
And 5 years down the line, it's now going into some new directions, which I'll be sharing with the world soon. But the mad thing is with charity is like the only time you hear me talk about it is if I go and do this year I did a 12-hour vinyl set. The things I forget that I do as this year alone, and I did a 12-hour vinyl set.
Yeah, and to forget that, how'd you forget that?
Yeah,
but you enjoyed that a bit as well.
Yeah,
you enjoyed that.
And when I do fundraisers, and I always said this, that when I do fundraisers, they have to have I'm not just asking people for money. I want them to see me do something. So many people had known me to be a drinker. Many people had seen how big I was, fat-wise, in weight. So I wanted people to see that I could ride 300 miles across 3 or 4 countries.
There's a way.
Yeah,
there's always a way.
Yeah, to say to them, I'm serious about my charity, and
I've done it, so can you do something?
Yeah, and this is what I'll do. So if you are going to donate a 5 or a tenner, you know that I'm putting effort in. Yeah. So same with like...
Well, they can. It's not just hearing about it. They see it.
Yeah.
They see it. The proof is completely out there every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I see you with your bike gloves on and the helmet.
Yeah, so
and that was worth it on yourself.
Yeah, do you know what? It was,
Did you get a sore bum?
Oh, absolutely.
I heard that rumour.
So you get sore bum and sore nipples, basically.
Nipples on the bike?
Yeah. When you 100 miles a day,
you're sweating and moving. And
you get sore nipples.
Bum, I understand. Didn't know about them. Did you get 3 plasters?
Yeah,
from someone?
you've got to. Yeah. And you have to just anyone who bike rides will know. You have like a cream and you have to rub it all around you.
Oh yes, of course,
your privates.
No, but it has to be done. Did you have the gel saddle? You must have got one of them eventually.
Yeah. Well, no, you basically when you put your cycling shorts on, you don't put. You don't wear pants or boxers or anything.
Some of them have got the gel in it.
They've already got it in. And I love the bike riding. It was outside of music and outside of family and friends.
Saw some sights.
It was the best thing I've ever done with my life, I think. Outside of family, friends and music. If I was to put all of the things in an order that have given me joy in my life, it would be family and friends first. Mm-hmm. It would be music second, and all the connections through music.
Well, the bike ride wouldn't have happened without music. Yeah.
Third would be setting up the charity, and then fourth, out of the many things I've done, doing that bike ride across those countries was like, after being 22 stone on the booze. And doing that of like...
If you can do it with all the... Because you're in the scene of booze. You're in the scene of partying.
Yes, surrounded.
That's why to just pull the plug on that was a tough cookie, mate. But another thing is, and you've got to be in your top 10 of achievements, is unity.
Oh, unity.
Because how many people have you made smile? And how many people make dance just from you, getting them out there? How many people would have never gone abroad?
Yeah.
Or would have never met people? Would have never met boyfriends, girlfriends, that sort of thing, partners. You've been a matchmaker as well. Yeah, well, this
feeds into your question about the ruthlessness of promoting.
Yeah. Because you are the head honcho of Unity and of Rave Story and of everything else you've done, and you've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh, we've seen the
you've seen the lovely stuff, but you've seen the tough late nights. You've seen the problems. You've seen the grief, you've seen the stress, you've seen the financial loss, and that a lot of people would have just thought,
Yeah, so
I'm not
with-
having no more of that. You've carried on 10 years now.
Yeah, so with Unity's 10, like me and Sonya are 29 years promoting together. Unity's
Is it 29, yeah?
29 years we've promoted, 33 years
So
we've
it'd be
been
30
together.
years promoting and 10 years Unity, all in the same
30
year.
years of promoting me and Sonya unbroken.
Will that be next year? Yeah.
And when we say unbroken, we don't mean had 5 years off.
No.
We not like even in COVID every year we put on events.
I've played for you every couple of 3 months, whenever it may be.
But
You just put them on to get them on.
yeah,
Not-
just let's go. Let's give
just to
people a
keep
good
people
time.
go-
Let's
yeah,
give
just to
people a
keep
good
you
time.
rolling. Keep
yeah.
rolling.
And with
You've never shirked out of responsibility in anything you've done. I'll tell you that straight. And that's not me being gushing. That's a fact.
yeah, so with Unity, Unity is like, if you think back to Northern Soul, like if you think of like Northern Soul gatherings and stuff like that, like that's how I see Unity in the Sun, but as a holiday for people our age and up. And it's like, it's a real representation of all of the music I love and all of my closest friends who I've worked
You'd
with.
have 4 genres there at least every time.
Yeah, which is very unusual for that kind of thing.
No, because normally they're one. They're
Yeah,
one music.
one thing.
You really went for the four biggies.
Yeah, and so if you think of we have me and Lisa Pinup were doing mix albums and making music together in the late 90s. Me and Nikki on the old school and the early hardcore and the very early jungle used to do back to back all the time at Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
If you then think of like the hardcore side with you, Scott Brown, people who have been very close to me.
Yeah, you've always leapt after the same people and all worked together properly. Yeah.
So
got a relationship going. I formed a bond.
yeah. So musically, because do you know what, hardcore gets the raw end of the
Always has. Always
gets
has.
the raw end of the stick a lot of the time, right?
I can understand why.
But if you look at whether that's the last Rave Story where we had the hardcore room, or every other Rave Story where you headline in the main room and I want you to do a Helter Skelter or a hardcore set.
Yes.
If you look at Unity in the Sun, I might have the coolest jungle DJs and old school DJs in the world, but I'm still putting hardcore on. If you look at my 35...
They're still out there. The people, they're still out there. Most
And
definitely.
if you look at my 35 years event, there's going to be a hardcore room. The Bonkers in Ministry.
Well, you couldn't have 35 years because you came from hardcore.
Yeah.
You made hardcore.
Yeah, in the
You've loved
mid-90s.
You've made hardcore albums.
Yeah,
You've
big hardcore albums.
Promoted them for
Yeah.
me. If you've so it is
Bonkers-
surely a part.
Yeah, Bonkers at Ministry that we do. So hardcore gets the rough end of the stick sometimes, but I always include it. I don't care.
Well, it's because it's not meant to be cool. Jungle's cool. House
Yeah.
is cool. See, because old school moved into hardcore a bit. But,
Yeah.
But if you are into hardcore, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's the places
And
I play
and
are very
can never-
busy.
I can never forget my roots, and that's why I include hardcore in everything.
Well, I could have gone that way away from the hardcore around
Yeah.
92, 3.
Yeah.
I could have gone the house garage a bit later in 95, 6.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
Whether I'm mad, whether I regret it, I don't, because I could have, but would it have worked? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Stick what has been good to you. Don't turn your back.
Do you know what's a real irony?
That's what I say anyway.
Yeah,
And it's
do you-
worked for me.
It's worked, of course, mate. Do you know what's a real irony? And I think about this a lot, especially in this sort of like emotional new era that we're in, is the irony is, how does Billy Daniel Bunter, I'm talking about myself in the third person there,
Right.
but someone who, if you only heard of me in the mid-90s, you would think I was just a Helter Skelter, die-hard, happy hardcore DJ,
Yes.
right? But if you come in the Labyrinth era, you'd think I was a bleeps and bass breakbeat DJ.
Yeah, definitely were,
But then,
yeah.
But then if you think to the late 90s, early 2000s,
you was
you think
trancey
about the
techno.
hard dance, and,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How in this moment in time do I
Gone to the
headline S Paradise for Clockwork Orange with a 90-minute 2-hour vinyl set playing all my late 80s, early 90s Labyrinth house and rave music.
Yep.
And Danny Gould at Clockwork Orange says, I never thought that I would experience 1998 in the year 2025 in Ibiza. And it's me. me playing, and he's saying that set was.
But when you say 98, it doesn't sound that long ago, but it's another generation ago.
And I'm on the mic like I'm at Labyrinth. I'm playing house, but then I'm moving to more ravey stuff. So Clockwork Orange in the Heritage House 90s scene, number one. It's the governor, right? Jeremy Healy, Brandon Block,
yes.
Danny Gould, Andy Manston, Danny Rampling, huge Clockstock
Radio
Festival.
1, everything.
They are the pinnacle of how retro heritage house and the Ibethan spirit. I've never been about the Ibethan spirit, and in the year 2025, here I am.
A quarter way through the century.
Yeah, as playing what I would have played in 1990. In equal measures, I'm putting on Bonkers at Ministry of Sound for the
ravers, the proper ravers.
I'm playing hardcore, happy hardcore, and not turning my back. Back in the day, when music was so snobby and so separated, that would have been unthinkable to do. In the same way as on Saturday afternoon, I'm an old school DJ on a lineup with Groove Rider and Brocky, playing old school and being invited to play at those kind of events.
Yeah, and your niche set in the middle, people love.
And I never ever
I've seen it.
change my authenticity for anyone. I never ever.
But you're Billy Daniel Bunter. You play Billy Daniel Bunter. You don't change it for somebody else or for what the name of the event is. If you're booked for that, you play what you play. And it's worked, hasn't it?
Yeah, it works. There's so many just ironies in it that, you know, back in the day, heaven forbid a happy hardcore DJ playing at house events.
Not the Labyrinth, Labyrinth president.
Heaven forbid a hard dance DJ playing before or after Groove Rider.
Not a hyperbolic DJ.
But this is the age that we're in, that time and passion and... Because you know what, Shane? We still haven't touched on the ruthlessness, which we will do.
Oh, you're ruthless, all right, son.
Right.
Well, times change. Of course it does.
I love the era between 88 and 93 where music moved on so rapidly. In 1990, like Rebel MCs bringing up Wickedest Sound or Coming On Strong to us to DJ, which are like 118, 128 BPM. By 1993, you're bringing records that are 160 BPM. That's how quickly and far. And I love that. I love that.
Where did that moment change?
Yeah, I love that. I love that we could play happy, we could play dark, music sped up at a rapid rate. But then if you love music, I remember at Labyrinth, I'd play in the house room and on the hardcore room when they then split up the music. And I always liked how fast music moved on. So that's why when it got to hardcore, I then did
Labyrinth
the
was a big part of that.
Yeah.
Labyrinth was there from as it went up.
Yeah.
And it worked with it. It worked with it. It's, as you said, it had a house room and a hardcore room.
Yeah, and then when it got to the more transcore stuff we did, then it went to the hard dance. Then the old school scene become huge, and like what I liked about the old school scene was it could encapsulate the old school rave, the 88, and the jungle and the drum and bass. Then before I knew it, I never ever changed my ethos and authenticity of loving music moving so fast. So there was certain periods in my career.
A lot of DJs didn't handle it. They dropped away.
There was a lot of periods in my career where I thought, should I have just stayed with hardcore? Should I? And then I thought, no. Now, like when people would go, oh, he just does it. He jumps from ship to ship. I can assure you, I moved into different music, like happy hardcore. I was at the height of my thing when I was like, I'm bored with that now. On to the next thing. I never. If you watch...
Oh, you didn't drop it because they were dropping you?
No,
you just
moved on. I'm done. I'm ready for the next thing. And like...
Well, you promoted many happy hardcore dudes.
Yeah.
You promoted many happy hardcore albums.
Many. If you...
I Love Happy Hardcore as your brand.
Yeah, if anyone was to look at some of the moments that I've had where I've moved on at an alarming rate, it's always way before... a scene or a sound or a style.
Oh, you didn't just leave a sinking ship.
Way before.
You didn't just jump because that was the fashion.
Yeah, it's because I had a passion to go.
And you've done your homework and the new stuff and moved across slowly. You didn't just go and then start dissing it.
Yeah,
you've heard that before, haven't we?
But absolutely, the best thing I ever did was never change my authenticity, because then it leads me to this point where,
look at you now, though. You've just grown.
Yeah.
You've just grown and flourished.
Yeah.
Because this weekend, I was going to say to you, you played 2 festivals, didn't you, this weekend?
Right,
and two really underground.
Right. So
really underground sort of rave venues, real sort of sweat pots to a point.
Yeah. So for any DJ or any music person,
But can I just say briefly before you get a question, what one would you prefer, or they're so different? Festival or underground?
I love it all. How can you have a favourite when you're an entertainer?
You think about Labyrinth and you love the old school, the old school grunge house as such, with the ravers all sweating and loving it. But then you go to the festival where there's, as you said, your 40, 50-year-olds outside till 9 o'clock in the evening. They can't really compare, but you love them both.
Yeah,
yes?
Put me in a corner where no one can see me, no problem. Put me on a stage where 3,000 people can see me, I'm going to show up and I'm going to show off, right?
Yep.
And at the weekend, this is...
As long as they know it's you in the corner.
This is dream stuff, right? Friday night, a 90s festival where on one stage is like brand new heavies, 911, big pop acts from the 90s. Then I'm DJing alongside Judge Jules and Dave Pearce.
On the other stage, yeah.
I'm not changing my style. I'm me. This is my thing. Judge Jules, Dave Pearce, absolute legends, heroes, what they've done. Come home, get into bed, wake up, go to Ministry of Sound, me, Groove Rider, Ray Keith, Brocky. I stay authentic to myself. That is.
But you're really in the same company there.
Yeah, that is drum and bass jungle royalty.
Yeah. Bar
only a few others are not on that lineup, but they are kings of kings, dons of dons.
Good way of putting it.
Then I go from Ministry to House and Classics. Me and K-Class, Master Pasha, Centerforce stage, Danielle Montana, full Centerforce.
Oh, yeah. 130 BPM.
I'm on exactly the same time as Todd Terry. Todd the God, absolute hero.
In the other stage, yeah.
Our stage is jammed. Like, people outside can't get in.
Wow.
But that's a house lineup I'm on.
That tells you a story, doesn't it? Simple as that.
Then I get in the car. So I've played with the Dons of Trance. I've played with the Kings of Jungle drum and bass. I'm then alongside the Kings of Godfathers of house music. K-Class are a different class. Todd Terry is a different class.
Of course, everyone. If you don't know him, you don't know anyone.
I then get in the car, drive down to Taunton, back to back with John Doe, pioneer of hard dance, hard trance music.
Totally different story.
With DJ Hicksy on after me, one of the number ones.
So you've gone you've done the 4. You've done the card.
I've headlined with them all.
Yeah.
And that is a very rare thing without once changing my authenticity, all those authentic music.
Them crowds didn't waver when you came on. See, there you go. It proves that you've done the right thing and you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and it's down to those connections with the people. It's down to that passion. It's down to handling all the ruthless situations.
And you do it all again this weekend, the hours, all the time.
I will do it again this weekend. Because when
you're not losing the passion, are you?
How can I?
You can't. You haven't. Because when you do, you'll know it. But you haven't, and you won't.
Even in our
we mentioned
times.
briefly yesterday, didn't we? You can't see yourself hanging up the headphones at a certain age. You've not got a cut-off point. You've not even thought about it ever, have you?
We never.
We've seen DJs do it.
You know that as my friend, that me and Sonya have spoke about regularly of travelling the world and setting up homes in different countries, but the plan would never be to stop doing the music.
Would you travel back? Could you do it?
Well, you could travel back. You could. I can be creative wherever I go in the world.
You'd make make allowances, wouldn't you?
Yeah. My brain's not going to stop. So the chances are that me and Sonya could travel around the world
Now your
and live in
children are
various
older,
countries.
you've got-
But we
and
most
you know your way around the world.
yeah, but the creativity wouldn't stop. I said to you yesterday as well when we did the radio, how can I stop? Because
It'd be a big gap. There'd be
It
a
would
big
be a
gap
big
in
gap.
your life and in people's on a lot of flyers.
and that messenger thing that I said, like what our purpose is. So if we take you 2 years ago, you nearly you could have passed away.
I could easily.
We spoke about this
the wrong
publicly.
time and the wrong doctor. I could have.
Yeah, you may have left us at the time of the height of your career, releasing your album.
I was coming to yours not well, wasn't I?
Yeah,
I was coming
yeah, putting together your-
I thought it would pass. I thought it was just a bit of flu or a bit of COVID or something.
We've
said this before, yeah.
and we
go
could
over
have
and
lost
over it.
you. Demon Rockers, from Ragga Twins, who's been in hospital for
Surely
nearly a year.
wakes you up, mate.
This
Surely wakes you
weekend,
up.
he was out. He was out in his wheelchair performing.
Only way, isn't
that
it?
is one of the greatest moments old school rave jungle music has ever had. Demon being back out, and I can tell you, with the year that we've had all personally in the past few years, we've had personally, it's the greatest thing that we've seen happen to a friend. To see him out.
Didn't know if there'd be a comeback, did we?
Yeah, so when I put you and Demon into that context, that you're out here, but then I put Eamon, Roger, Jason, many others who are
It makes
not.
me sad. It makes me think, God, I'm a lucky man. It makes me,
Yeah,
how close to the wind was I sailing, through my own fault, but just no one can say that that's a different level up
Yeah.
there. There's no such thing as a timing.
yeah,
It
and
just can
because
happen.
I feel like I was by my dad's bedside when he took his last breath. That is incredibly profound.
But an honour for you.
It's an
You wouldn't
honour.
change a thing.
It's
Tough time, but a beautiful
it's
time.
it's an absolute honour when that
You're lucky, 'cause a
like
lot of
you
people aren't
said,
that lucky.
Yeah. So it's a profound moment. Losing Eamon, incredibly profound. So
You had to be be there,
yes,
didn't you? You had to get straight
we
there.
had to leave
You had
Ibiza and
to.
go straight to there, and so then when you put into context with what you've just said, you're lucky that you could get out. We're all celebrating Demon Rockers being out. It's emotional seeing him out. It was
Imagine
emotional
not having that
seeing
bit
you
of
out.
luck.
So just you think you're saying I'm lucky to be out. Me as you lot's friends who have lost other friends, he's saying I'm lucky to be out.
Yeah.
So how can I not do this podcast and put all my friends on? Because we more than ever we need to celebrate them.
Yeah.
How
Well, if my album, if it wasn't for you, I've always said about doing it. I've always
Yeah.
said it, never done it. You just came up with it and said, Shane, do you want to do it? And I jumped. I
Yeah.
thought, oh, is this going to work? It's the best thing I've ever done. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I've said it 50 times. Wow, what an idea to get it going. But you pulled me down. You pulled me
Yeah.
down that road and gave me a real boost. I think
Yeah.
that might have helped along the way, to be honest, mate.
Well, when you was in hospital, it was
just
when,
getting pressed.
Yeah, it was just getting pressed.
I was getting depressed. That was getting
Yeah,
pressed.
so I
Imagine
just
that. It would have been. That would have been.
Yeah,
Not saying it would have been if I had gone. It'd have been good to give to people.
No, don't
It
talk
would have been a
that.
great memory, wouldn't it?
But
no, I
was-
pulled through, and
you
I had that in my
did.
mind. I was in there for my birthday, and when I
Yeah,
came
you
out,
was.
you had the copies.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
And then we did the party, and then we
Pulled
had a
through.
belated
I
birthday
only came out
bash.
2 or 3 days before.
Yeah.
I didn't look well, did I? There, it was great.
Yeah.
But what a thing to have to look forward to. I'm sure it spurred me on.
And that's why I film all of the gigs. That's like I've got so much footage of you with your birthday cake at that event because
Yeah.
you'd been in hospital.
And signing bits and
Yeah.
signing the album. It was great
And
to have that album there.
I keep so much and I document so much
You must have
in
a
recent
library
times.
and a half.
Because something that really struck me was I didn't used to keep flyers and that. And you know, I showed you all them flyers that we
Yeah.
were on. They were my dad's. My dad kept it all, and he had a box from when he used to drive me around. And, Glastonbury, Bestival, Boomtown.
That 30-euro with me and Druid on it. Just the odds that, whoa.
All the
forgot about
things,
that. I forgot about playing at Wembley for Fusion.
Yeah.
I forgot that even happened.
Yeah.
But now I know about it. Them little things.
Yeah.
You to pull that out yesterday and said, wait
show
for
you.
it, wait for it.
My dad saved them. I didn't.
Little box, yeah.
I've not even saved flyers for events that I've put out. And when my dad went and we found that box, I was like, you need to be documenting more stuff. You need to be keeping this stuff. You don't get in.
Because that box means $1 million to you, doesn't it? That's just a box of
that.
that.
And I didn't know it existed.
No.
And like when
he kept them because you were on them, didn't he?
Yeah. When you get in and you take your pass off from a festival and it goes in the bin because it's how we've lived our life.
It's disposable to us. Yeah.
I've stopped all that because it meant something to my dad, and then like it means doing this podcast, doing the radio. Like we're currently writing Nicky Blackmarket's book, Eastman's book, the various things that we do, the funding of people's events is like now with my dad going and what his box of memories taught me about.
You just passed the baton and you've just taken it and run with it.
And then with the amount of people going and then how close Eamon, because Eamon's never going to sit in these chairs with us to talk this stuff.
No.
So more than ever.
Now I see what you mean, mate.
Yeah.
I get it.
So now
I got it, but now I really get it.
Yeah. So now more than ever, that's why these podcasts.
These are hallowed chairs at the moment.
Have to be, because I want whether it doesn't, from Kenny to Everson to Nicky to you to people I don't even know and have never worked with. I want them here. So we can document
a forever record.
Everyone's stories. It's important, and that's what I mean by messenger. That's what I mean by like in COVID, never stopping and never feeding into the negative, even though the world was in
negative. So all the thousands of people that can watch this have got it forever. All the thousands of people that can watch Hype or Nicky Blackmarket or LSD who've done this, they'll have them forever. And it's just great, isn't it? Because it's so easy to forget, isn't it? It's so easy to forget. Time does make you forget things.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have all these things. And yeah, you're not doing it for you. You're not doing it for the people. You're not doing it for the DJ. You're just doing it for everybody as one.
History, yeah.
Because LSD's big history. Raggatin's big history. They deserve to be documented, no doubt.
Documented and celebrated.
Celebrated, yes, as well.
And many of them are my friends. Many of them have inspired me. Many of them give me that creative energy.
Because who would do it if you wouldn't? I know it sounds terrible. It's not all down to you, but you're taking the bull by the horns and really doing a good thing, mate. I've got to say.
Well, it doesn't matter whether it's the Rave Story. It doesn't matter if it's releases. It doesn't matter if it's a charity. It doesn't matter whether it's the good times.
You're the guru.
I don't know about that. I've just got youthful energy.
The Tsar.
No. I've just got youthful energy, and I've got Sonya, and we've still got the fight. We've still got the vision. But what we have more than anything is empathy for what this music's done for us, empathy for our friends, and gratitude to all of the people who support.
Yes. Well, they've got the gratitude back for you, mate. I know that. You know the people out there, your mega fans. They're fans. You've got thousands of fans. They appreciate what you do because you lead them. Could they go to Kavos without you? Could they go to these festivals? Could they text into the radio or message into the radio and have real laughs? Like, they do. You see your regulars, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're a bit of a lifeblood for them. Sometimes,
Yeah.
they can't wait for
and
Monday.
Then for me,
then people see their name, they've got a bit of fame, haven't they?
Yeah,
and 50-50, of course
it's 50-50.
Oh, it's a two-way play, no doubt.
Because I do love playing this music. I wonder if we're going to get onto the Ruthless bit, because we touched on that. But
well, look, it's
what else have we got?
No, well, you are ruthless. I'm sure you have to be ruthless. I'm sure you've put your foot down and just put your fist down a few times. You have to be. It's not a game, is it? It's the promoters. It's a game, but it's not a laugh game.
Yeah,
you're in the promoting game, but it's not a game.
Well, look, Sonya's been held up at gun and knife point at Brixton.
For money
Mass.
or
for money
to stop?
Yeah.
What, just keep coming in
from
straight?
a big Brixton gang.
That's when the cash was going over the counter.
Back, remember back
when
in
it was
the
all
days,
cash, basically.
All cash, yeah. and she's been held up.
And wouldn't that put you off? But no, you've come back stronger.
Come back stronger. Yeah, come back
Well, it was
stronger.
either drop completely, leave it completely, or come back stronger.
Yeah,
One or the other.
We had events where we'd lost like 10, 15, 20 grand.
Now that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
That's big money.
That's in like
That could put you off coming back as well.
The early days, yeah. That was in like the early days of the Rocket.
But you've had good ones as well. So
yeah, well, we've mastered the art of promoting, and
you know what to do and when to do it and when not to.
Yeah,
you've learned.
Yeah, we've learned.
There's no formula. It's just sensible and looking where, looking who, looking the dates, everything. You've got you've got a secret formula. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
not secret formula.
It works for us, and we've always like. Sonya,
there's things you do and don't do. Simple as that.
Yeah, Sonya has, from the day we met when she, at such a young age, one of her philosophies was, we don't trouble till trouble troubles you.
Simple one, and it really helped. And it's a good idea, to be honest.
And me and her have lived by that in our relationship and our working life. And when you're me and you are 100 miles an hour and you are great at gathering people and you can fire off ideas freely, I don't, like bam, 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 you are going to come up across issues.
Yeah, because nothing's perfect.
Nothing's perfect. So we've had a lot of run-ins, and you know me, especially in my younger days, especially when I was drinking. I'm fiery.
You'd probably jump the gun.
I can go. My temper can just through nature of my loud family, my upbringing,
and maybe at the wrong time as well.
Yeah. And you snap. But from Sonya being held up to, we had and it's all documented on legal records, and the court case is up online. It's been studied at it's what they call a passing off case. Okay. Right. So it's
did you have to be asked if that could be used?
No, I'm going to explain to you.
Oh, okay.
So, and I've never told this, and I'm telling this.
As long as you're sure.
I'm 100% sure.
Okay, because there's a couple of people watching.
Yeah. I'm telling this in a life lesson way,
okay, mate,
right?
Brilliant.
So, we had unity in the sun, and we set this thing up. And we ended up in what was called a passing off case. Right. So Innovation, which had Innovation in the sun.
Did you ever play for them? You did, didn't you?
Yeah.
I did, so I'm sure you knew you did.
I played for Innovation. Innovation also had an album.
You were friendly with them.
Yeah, Innovation also had an album on Ministry of Sound, which come through my deal. The Innovation album.
I knew you were friendly with them.
Was my idea, right? So,
I can let you say the name of the person, because you were very friendly, weren't you?
Right, yeah. So anyway, we set up Unity in the Sun. Mm-hmm. And Lloyd, who I admired, and I admired his work, but our event was hardcore, old school, hard dance in a completely different country. Just like Innovation in the damn thing, the In the Sun thing wasn't the brand. The
argument is 3 words.
Yeah. So the argument's 3 words. Now, me being me, I get the phone calls when we launch.
And this is 10 years ago, roughly.
About 10 years ago. Like, watch your back, stop it. So straight away.
Not just a conversation.
So straight away, my being me is like, talking to me like that? You ain't talking to me like that, because as Sonya says, you don't trouble till trouble troubles you. This come my way.
There'd have been no issues.
And I'm just like, whoa.
No, but with you going ahead with yours, would it have caused any problems?
Never in a million years.
I don't think so.
Never in a million years. But anyway, the first off, the sort of and it's natural. We've all been there. The puffing of the chests, the watch your backs, the you do as you're told. That's
not the way to do it to start with, is it?
It happens in the game of promoting.
So there you go.
The ego comes out, do this or else, do that. You know me. No one's ever. I'm not going to accept that. Whoever you are, I'm not going to accept.
Somebody you knew, you were friends with to a point. You were used to, but
you don't get to how far down the line we'd been to you by being a yes man or do as you're told.
Your first night out, was it?
That don't happen. So anyway, this situation builds and builds. So my thing is simple. You've got two options here, and this is one of my old man's old sayings. You better leave me dead in the ditch and make sure I am dead and don't come up. That's it. If you're going to make threats, I can't fight to save my life, right? But I ain't being told what to do. Or, which many record people do, many promoters, you'll be hearing from my solicitor.
Right on.
So in the end, innovation go down the route of solicitor. They end up wasting hundreds of thousands of pounds in fighting, ultimately, Sonya, who's built up this legal knowledge.
She went fully in.
Yeah. And we knew that we'd done nothing wrong.
Just 3 words. It could have been solved. It could have been solved.
Yeah, we knew that our market, our country, our everything was completely different. If you're going to start saying what words people can use, then no one should ever be allowed to use in the dam. How many different in the dams have you had?
The word dam, the word anything.
No one should be able to use the word dance, world dance. United dance,
freedom to dance,
history of dance, freedom to dance, if you're gonna,
yeah.
And we'd already been through many record contracts and publishing contracts because I'd been signed to Ministry, I'd been on Virgin, so Sonya had learnt this legal side, and
I've never seen her not looking at a laptop or a spreadsheet.
yeah. So many times we met up with Lloyd and sat round hotel conference rooms, say, come on, this is pointless, really? Man. Like,
you had to sit down.
Yeah. Go and look after your own, water your own garden. Wasn't it amicable
at all? No.
So
you want to know?
3 years down the line, anyone who wants to study this case, just put in Unity in the Sun it's not even Unity in the Sun and Innovation in the Sun. It's Unity in the Sun and Innovation because that was their company. Right, that was their brand, and In the Sun was just the byline to many different things that they did. Innovation in the dam, blah. So we dug our heels in because.
But how many in-thers is there?
Plenty.
There you go.
But we dug our heels in
because you were confident. I take it.
No one tells us what to do when we've done nothing wrong. We don't care who you are. We don't care that you was the biggest drum and bass promoter of all time. You might talk to DJs like that, and you might talk to MCs like that, but you don't talk to us like that. Right. And that was the thing. You're not in the right. If you think that we're taking X amount of 21-year-old kids to come and listen to Happy Hardcore, you're deluded. If you think we're the reason that your event's not going as good as it was, you're deluded. So we were, if we're in the wrong, we'll tell you we're in the wrong and we'll move away from the situation. Yeah. But if you're going to make...
Well, that's why you had to dig your heels in.
Yeah, if you're going to make legal threats, if you're going to flex your chest over something that's not true, what kind of people are we to back down? And where do we go as human beings if we're willing to bury our head in the sand?
I know you'd have, from what I've just heard, if you were wrong, you'd have gone, okay.
I would, yeah.
So I'll have another look at it. I'm sorry, mate.
Yeah. So how can I do all the different things that I do with Sonya and other people if I don't know how to tackle situations head on like that? Like threats, legal action, and 3 years we fought it.
Is it that long?
In the end, it just become part of our day to day, and it was part. You know how practical Sonya is, right? So we end up.
She had to cover every base.
Yeah, we end up winning in court. All of the threats were idle.
They normally are.
Yeah, things being said in court like innovation invented old school, and the judge actually said, so if Billy Daniel Bunter goes, all this silliness got to court. It cost hundreds of thousands of pounds on their side.
Someone had to pay, yeah.
Right? And the judge even said, so are you saying Billy Daniel Bunter's not allowed to go to Glastonbury and play Old School because Innovation once booked Billy Daniel Bunter to play Old School? It was a...
Is it farcical to a point?
It was farcical in which in the end Innovation, I don't know what Innovation's doing, right?
That was the last shoot.
Yeah. They haven't been running. They're not in their place, and we won. We got damages. They had to pay money. They lost out, and there was many.
Sounds like the biggest waste of time and money for a long time.
Waste of time. He was telling people they couldn't play for me. They couldn't do this. You don't. There's so many lessons to be learned in this situation, right? So many lessons. People say to me, "How do you feel about it?" And I say it was a pointless situation. Like the guy didn't need to do it.
Time, effort, and money.
He let his ego and he let whatever was going on in his life, or if his event was like not going as good, he let emotions get in the way to something that he should not have let get in the way. For me, Sonya and Jay, it was an absolute. It's a lesson in when you're right, you don't let people walk over you. In the same way Sonya didn't let that gang and our door team didn't let that gang take over our door and we were back the next month with our monthly event, is the same way we wouldn't let a promoter tell us what we can and can't do. Yeah. Right? So it's a life...
You do it once, it will carry on, and then you're finished, really.
You let one person do it and it's going to continue forever, right? So there's a life lesson there. And there's also a life lesson of like, don't flex your ego. If you think someone's in the wrong or things ain't going or your ego is like being questioned, or you think you're bigger than what you are, or you're not getting what you think you should, sit down and think to yourself before you act. And again, if I didn't have Sonya with her practical side.
You took a step back, a deep breath, and looked at it.
And gone boom. And there's a lot of lessons in it. And there's also a lot of things like you say about Unity in the Sun. Unity in the Sun is, as you've already touched on, is people's yearly holiday. People have met their partners there. People have rekindled.
As soon as they're on the plane back, they're looking to book the next.
People have made best friends. People have had rekindled their love for life, let alone music.
They're planning it 6 months in advance. They're talking about it 4 months in advance. They're saying what they're taking on the group, what they're taking, what clothes they're wearing.
Yeah.
It's a big.
It's a big
year.
thing. So
whereas they'd go to some other holiday, now they go there guaranteed.
Yeah,
it's
so
brilliant.
While all of this stuff's going on behind the scenes with Unity for 3 or 4 years, we're giving people this amazing time.
Still doing it,
but I want people to understand that it was me and Sonya and Jay didn't look at it as a negative situation. We looked at it as another life lesson, another.
And the fact you came through it slightly unscathed. Of course, there was time, effort, and money, but more
in the end, knowledgeable.
Yeah,
everything is part of our story.
It was a learning curve. You didn't want it. You didn't need it. But you thrived from it, you grew from it.
You grew from it. I have zero contempt, zero bad feelings towards Lloyd. In fact, and I want people to understand this, music has got a lot of snakes in it and a lot of backstabbers. Me and you know this. We've opened doors for people who couldn't open the door for themselves, who have then grown to hate us. Me and you have both been in them situations.
You've opened more doors. You've opened lifts. You've opened life. You've changed lives.
Yeah,
you have.
Where you give people unconditional support and they turn against you at the drop of a hat for no reason at all. One thing I will say about that Innovation situation is I've got full and utter respect for Lloyd, that he said he was going to do what he was going to do, go all the way. And a lot of people, even though he shouldn't have done it, that money could have gone into a charity. That money could have gone into him setting up another business with his brother.
Solicitors and court costs, is that what it was?
Yeah, it's gone to solicitors and court cases. But one thing that man gets my utmost respect for going all the way.
Well, you said earlier, you say you're going to do something, you do it. The charity is the everything
He
you do.
fronted up, I fronted back. I meant what I said, and he meant what he said. The only difference was...
Someone had to drop.
Someone had to drop, and our stable had the relationship and the knowledge of me and Sonya. Yeah. And that was the thing. But this is our life, Shane. This is our life. Your album, one of your proudest moments,
almost
like you
definitely.
say, right?
Yeah, I'll never regret it, never forget.
While your album was in production, tons of people were getting it. Everyone was excited by your launch party. You were told by the hospital that you might not have been here.
No.
While you're in your hospital bed,
I couldn't sleep for 4 nights in a row when I was waiting for the results.
And everyone around you's losing their mind, in tears, emotional.
I didn't have any visitors except for Pops because it was just too difficult. And now I've had too many people coming in saying the same thing, tiring me out because I wasn't well at all.
Yeah.
They'd been asking the same questions. How are you? Bringing me grapes, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
But I just pulled the plug, pulled the pin. I just had to be there on my own for them 4 days. I was there 6 days before the test, and the last 4 days was waiting for the results. And they were the toughest 4 days of my life.
Toughest 4 days,
Kidney
right?
cancer, liver cancer would not have been a good outcome. That would have been inoperable.
Exactly.
So I had to wait until the 4th day, and we had it on my podcast. They just gave me that information, and I would, as anyone would, broke down, and there was tears.
Yeah.
You know, and the man was so nice, and he showed me what the problem was. I went, and just...
Yeah, and that's our life.
And then I had the album, and then I had the party and Christmas, everything to look forward to, and it was just thanks to you, mate. To a point, thanks to you, the album.
But there's
funny things happen in life.
Our life, because of the lives we lead of music, being inspired, being creative, we have these massive highs, but real life happens. So with aim, and I worked this out the other week, like whether it's my dad, whether it's Eamon, whether it's my other friends and peers who have passed, every weekend of our lives and some of our other friends' lives, we're out entertaining, whether it's 50 people or 5,000 people, right? So when Eamon went, I'm at S Paradise. I've said it's in my top 3 gigs of all time. Danny Gould has said he never thought that he could better S Paradise in 98. Me and that man are spiritually connected through creativity, vision, and music.
Have you got some videos of it? Some
all of it,
I wouldn't mind seeing some of that.
Then the following day...
the high to the low.
Yeah, my Eamon goes, and we're on the first plane to Italy to see him off, right?
You didn't get a chance to even really take in what happened the night before. You
not even a chance. The innovation situation, we are giving people life-changing moments on a holiday
while underneath,
whilst all behind
all that dirt
this
and all
is
that
going
shit
on. And we live an incredibly blessed, privileged life that we get to share our love and passions with, but also we're everyday people that real life happens to, but sometimes...
Oh, you can't get away from real life.
Yeah.
No matter how up there you are, no matter how much money you got, Eamon, me, then in that hospital, having £5,000 in your back pocket wouldn't help one bit, or even 10,000 or whatever. That was just a ballpark figure. Don't mean money. I mean having the big house, having any car, me in that bed, Eamon now. It's just, you have to just really be thankful for every little minute, every little fan, every little handshake, every photo, every podcast, every victory, every set, every mix.
1,000,000%. And that's our life's profound, because you know, whether it's music so wonderful or sing it loud, you've literally made 2 of the greatest records of 1993 that have stood the test of time. They mean so much.
Yeah, I can't believe it. So if I think now to then, I think you think then, you to now.
Yeah.
You could never have scripted it, written it, documented it. You just had to do it.
Yeah, Eamon's Sweet Harmony, 1991, one of the greatest records of all time.
One of that. You can't say that,
Yeah, my friends have made people's greatest memories from their...
And they didn't know it at the time, it just happened.
Yeah.
No plans.
Yeah, and no matter the I'm gonna, unless you've got other questions, but I think this would be for me. Like, no matter what life throws at us, and actually because music is our life, a lot of the hardships are even revolved around music.
Well, you
right?
can't switch off. Everything near enough in your life, except family, is music.
Yeah.
There are other little things, but you wake up thinking about the next thing, the next rave, the next booking, the next person you have to speak to, the next production, the next bit of business you have to do, and it's all music orientated.
All music.
But that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And no matter the fights, no matter the head-on collisions with other people, no matter those around us who pass, no matter the era, it doesn't matter whether it's 1210s or CDJs, don't matter if it's tape packs or the internet, no matter what happens, we just love giving people music, Shane.
Well, we've had a couple of sad moments there, but sad with joy, you know. But I'm gonna finish us off with a couple of ones towards you directly, which just to sort of take the edge off of it a bit, right? Right, I'm interviewing you. You've interviewed me. You've interviewed many people in the world. These are all your friends. These are all your colleagues. Yeah. If there's somebody who you could interview, dead or alive, anybody, one person that you probably wouldn't have had a chance to, it could be from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, could be someone now that you probably couldn't be able to get hold of. You could push a button, they'd be in here tomorrow at 12 o'clock. You could interview for 2 hours. Who would it be and why?
Mike Allen, Capital Radio.
Really? That's straight out, not even thinking about it?
Mike Allen, Capital Radio.
And you go through the times of the middle 80s.
There's so many questions that I have.
From them times you pressing forward and record and play.
Yeah, Mike Allen.
And how did he get into hip hop? Being a normal older fella.
He was a smooth soul late night ballad DJ.
Because most people would have said, you'd have said Prince or George Benson or it's one of the big hip hop, Run DMC. You've gone for the man who promoted them.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. And you'd press that button every year.
First person that comes to my mind.
I thought you'd be going, but that proves how important that was.
Yeah.
Well, you were speaking to me yesterday saying that you showed me a flyer you were on from, I thought you'd made it up. And you got the flyer, 1992.
Yeah.
You played, he did. He played in, I only got the, New Jack City video.
Yeah.
He didn't go as far as to get the video recorder, only got the DVD. Yes, you've got 2 weeks off and a real shut off. No phone, no internet. You're allowed to go anywhere for 2 weeks with Sonny, whatever you want to call it. She's got so many names, a Sozpot, right? Where would you go for 2 weeks? You can fly, boat, anywhere you would like for 2 solid weeks, phone off, anywhere. It can be hot, cold, up a mountain, down a cave. 2 weeks to yourself and Sonya, where would it be? No phone, no rave, no music, no family, no me, no nothing. 2 weeks. You can say your back garden if you want. Anywhere.
Do you know what? I'm saying New York. Sonya will probably go, we've been New York already, but Would
you go more in depth? You wouldn't just do the tourist, you'd go out.
We'd go in depth, mate. We'd be in every record shop. I'd be tracking down every legendary hip hop act and soul and funk act, and I'd be I'm saying New York.
That's a fair shout because you've been there once, you never see it all, can you? So you want to go and see the stuff you didn't see.
Yeah.
All right, this is Danny, the last couple now, mate, because I know we could go on forever.
We can, yeah.
This is Danny Island Discs now.
Right, go on.
Night Desert. You're allowed to take 3 records. So when you finish it all off, you can take 3 records or 12s or albums even. You're only 3. Or if you can just take 1, but you're allowed up to 3. What 3 albums? You've got your what are those?
Are we going albums? Are we?
You can take an album because an album could be, but there's no. Yes, 3 albums because your 12 you'll want that will be on one of those albums. 3 albums. It can be a comp. It can be anything you like because I know you love your records. You've got the deck. You've got the mixer. Just 1 deck, just to be on that island with 3 albums.
I'm gonna have to go. Well, I'm going to have to go a 12-inch. I'm going to have to go phase 2 reaching.
Okay.
I've lived my life by that record. If you go back to interviews as far back as the mid-90s, that record has helped
That's
me.
an early crossover house
that
rave.
record has taken me through so many good and bad times. So that would have to.
You've got that at home, obviously.
That would have to come with me, and but it was actually on an album called The Garage Sound of Deepest New York. So I may take the album. No, I'm just taking the 12
because they're
inch.
ones that don't really matter, not as much as the 12, because you've got that 12.
Yeah, I've got that 12. I'm then taking Electro 5. And the reason why I'm taking Electro 5 was because that was the first album my dad introduced me to that made me want to absolutely.
And I bet you played it many
DJ,
over
and over again. So it would remind me of my dad. It would remind me of why I'm here, and it would just take me back to a time before I worked in a record shop, before I met Eamon, before I met Joe Labyrinth, before I met
it all began,
Phil
when you
Desire,
were just
before I met
fresh
you,
and new,
Nicky, Kenny, Frost, everyone else.
When you didn't know anything, that was just your life.
Before success, before gold selling million albums with Ministry, before Sonya being held up, before court cases, before charities, before we get to this
20
point,
other things you could probably
losing
name.
all of our friends, that would take me back, like tape packs and the records we play at raves take people back to a special time. That's what Electro 5.
Number 6 is good for me, but 5 is very good.
5 for me. Now for a third, I don't think I can answer a third. If I really had to choose a third, it's going to have to be Diana Ross Love Child album, because that was my mum's.
And you can say, Pops even said, she said 1, and I'm sorry, I had to go 3 because I know you like so many genres. It would be so difficult for 1.
Yes.
So you've gone Diana Ross.
So
you mentioned that earlier.
Because of my mum. So that then means I take Phase 2 Reaching, which has guided me through my life, which has inspired me because it's a gospel song in a dance record. Its emotiveness and its spirituality has inspired me to guide me, Sonya, and my kids through good and bad. There's been a lot of bad, been far more good. Just like there's been far more good.
You never
people
get
than,
good. You never get so much good without a little bit of bad.
Yeah, just
mate.
like there's been far more good than there's bad people. But Phase 2 Reaching will represent my life, my family, and my friends' life. Electro 5.
Before.
Electro 5 represents mine and my dad's relationship and what started me off, and Diana Ross Love Child represents my mum and me seeing like that record cover taken in Detroit.
What year is that from, roughly?
70s, 68, 69.
Oh, so it's a real golden soul. It's soul. It's not fun. It's soul.
The cover it's just oozes like the depth of black Detroit music and that spirit and that soul that I love. I've got all 3 of these records I'm talking in the same way that...
What a stupid question.
In the same way that Phase 2 Reaching captures that spiritual, gospel, black soul of music that I love. And in the same way, Electro 5 is the hypnotic piece of like DJ music. So there you go.
That's brilliant. Well, I've just been told, because I know we didn't plan to...
The batteries are running out.
We'd run over. We could go on forever. I've just got one last little thing. You've got your 35-year big celebration coming up.
Of course, 35 years.
If you forget that... You've got that coming up on October the 17th, I think, is it?
I know this one because I have actually.
We didn't even know the Bonkers.
October 18th.
October the 18th, Saturday, Electro Works.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real celebration of everything dance, everything 4 arenas.
Yeah.
You're going to be there yourself playing. Going to do all 4 arenas or just a couple?
Well, I don't. Right. So at the moment,
I think you should really.
So I'm just going to reel off some things here. Just quickly.
Because there's a follow on to this very quickly.
Right. So October 18th. It's an old school rave jungle room. It's an 88, 89 classic house room. It's a hardcore room and it's a hard dance room. And to cut it short, it's going to be my closest people. Closest people. Everyone knows my history and all them 4 music, so you can imagine who's going to be on it. And get your tickets from Skiddle. You
haven't even advertised it yet and it's doing well. So.
I can't believe we've put one bit of artwork out.
No lineup.
And it's like Sonya went, it's nearly half sold, didn't you? And I'm like, what? Like, yeah. Really,
well, you'd
really
forgotten about it on here for hundreds of thousands of people.
Sorry, Sonya and Grant.
And just as you're getting to your 35, which will be coming up to 40 sooner than later, and then even later, once we do all slow down, which we will, and we'll love it, can you see yourself pulling out a little hobby out of the bag, such as fishing, little bit of fast walking, anything like that you've always thought about in your life, you've never done, and then you've got a bit more time on your hands, you think you might, something local, something when you're abroad, when you're over in those lovely places, a little bit of wine taste, no, not wine taste, sorry, that was silly, it's a food, restaurant, cooking.
Well, I touched on it earlier.
A business, some weird business.
No? I want to travel the world with Sonya. I've seen the world, but I've seen nightlife. I've seen the world, but I've seen nightlife.
Right.
I want to
alternative travelling.
I want to see the world as a 50 to 60.
Egypt, Australia.
I've been all of those places.
Yeah,
I want to go.
You've been in clubs at these places.
Yeah, I want to go everywhere. I want to
get on trams. You want to get on. Yeah.
I want to
bike ride over these places. Yeah.
Boom. I want to see the world with Sonya, but not through the eyes of a DJ.
Right, that's brilliant.
I want to see the world as a 50, 60, 70-year-old.
Yeah, when you can still
Put
have some
the pin
life.
in and let's go.
Well, all I can say is this is Billy Daniel Bunter, 35, 40 years in the game. Every year has been a milestone. The 35 coming up, as we said, but everything has been for people. It's been brilliant. It's been up all the way. I can't see it stopping anytime soon. So it's been an honour, pleasure to be here and listen to the great man yourself. Thank you, Dan.
I love you. Thank you. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Oh, you're sacked now. I'm doing everyone else. Who am I doing next week? I'll do my calendar if it was possible.
I think you've either got Everson or Kenny next week.
Listen,
I'm
love
not
you
sure.
loads. Vibes saying thank you for checking in.
I've got to have the last word. I've got an idea, which I've only just shared with him in the past few days, but I've had the idea for a month or so. I think that Shane could have his own podcast of Shane thoughts and Shane, like, the things that go through his mind. Because anyone who's watched our interviews where I've interviewed him or listened to our radio shows know that this man is incredibly entertaining. Sorry to take
we
over
haven't gone
podcast.
into it. It wasn't a fun. It wasn't a real jokey one today. It wasn't on the radio having a laugh. It was kind of trying to let people know about you.
100%.
Had to be.
If you see my vision that he could do like a monthly, like Shaneisms with various people, whether it's me,
some right nutters on, couldn't I?
Would you like that to happen on this channel as part of Rave Story TV?
I'll get some nutters on. I could.
You would get
ones that you would turn down.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take them on. I'll take the dropouts.
It would be brilliant.
Listen,
right, go on, you have the final word.
Thank you so much. No, you have the final word. It's your day. Thank you so much. We love this, man. Say goodbye, Danny.
Goodbye, Danny.
Love you, Danny.
Love you,
all
Danny.
out there. Thank you. See you later. It's been great. I've loved it. Thank you.